It's in thalis, which is like they have lots of little tiny dishes and a bit of rice and some bread for dipping and stuff. That's really, really good. Super rich. Disgustingly rich. Yeah.
I think this was a conversation with Joel a long time ago about how Korean food, it's just like 100 plates that fill the table.
Bibimbap.
Korean.
Bibimbap.
Korean barbecue.
Doesn't have to be barbecue.
No, I know, but the only Korean thing we had in Southampton was Korean barbecue. It was really good.
Do you have a Nando's?
Of course we have a Nando's.
You
everywhere.
say of course, but there's a handful of them in the U.S. Like we do not have those out here. We should.
Loads in the UK.
I love Nando's.
I'm not sure what that is.
I'm gonna second that.
Chicken. Portuguese, I think.
Yeah, it's like Portuguese chicken. It's huge in South Africa, stuff like that. Like it's like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that as well. I think
barbecue.
They do like weird stuff. Chicken hearts or livers or something. Chicken livers, I think. It's more like chicken in a wrap or chicken on a plate. Spicy rice. And peri salt chips and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good. We just got Taco Bell in the past few years.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We
No,
they fucking love it. We went to.
I love it. Yeah,
last time I was in the UK, we were in London, and Terry's like, "All right, we've got to go to McDonald's here because they've released like Indian style chicken sandwiches or something at McDonald's." So we literally went to like the Piccadilly fucking McDonald's, the worst McDonald's I've ever been to, and got Indian flavored McDonald's food, and it was fucking just the worst. Oh my god, I still tease her.
That sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
But on the flip side, the best Indian food I've ever had in my life was in London at a place called Dishoom. And it's like everybody knows about fucking Dishoom that has been to that has even like traveled to London. Like I've bumped into people here and we're like, "Oh yeah, we went to this really good place in London called Dishoom," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we went. We've been to like multiple locations." They're great because they donate a meal for every meal you order in their restaurant. They donate a meal to charity, and they went from like one location to like 4 locations in London. It is legit. Like we waited outside in December in London for 2 hours for that fucking restaurant for a table. Yeah, it was fucking, and it was good. They came out and gave everybody like shots of brandy and chai in that were waiting in line. It was great.
Yum.
Talk about all this fancy food. I'm eating pizza.
Dude, I had Mexican food like an hour ago.
Yeah.
I got pretzel chips. That's what I got. I have pretzel chips and sweet tea, so I'm good.
Well, croissant coming in about an hour or so. What can we get?
My intention is not to eat on the stream, but I just couldn't avoid it today.
No, do it. We'll get some mukbang viewers.
Ah, mukbang, yeah.
Mukbang, don't you have to like have it like way up here?
Yeah,
in the camera?
all displayed.
Yeah, they want to see. It's like mukbang people are in the same fetish category as like feet people. It's like mukbang people and feet people are like the same Venn diagram.
And they're not the worst.
You're alienating a lot of audiences there.
I mean, we can all agree that furries are the worst, right?
That what?
Furries are the worst.
Oh yeah.
I'm not alienating any group.
Yeah. Look at Sarah laughing already.
On week 1.
Because I was like last night we were like, I was like, all right, we can invite new people in the game. Just no more cat people. No more weird cat people. And then last night we had somebody join our game, a new person, and they're like, "I'm a Tabaxi," and I was just like, Sarah and I both did the same thing where we were just like, oh god, like.
It was great because it was up based on a previous conversation. That was like, that's the best part. It's like.
Yeah, it was like we're literally worst case scenario. We were like, all right, no more cat people in our games, no more weirdos who are just like playing cat people. And sure enough, like the person who joined our game yesterday is like playing a Tabaxi.
That could be like. God.
Oh yeah, you're good. I was going to talk shit.
I was like, that could have been the leader of our fan club now, and now they hear this, ripping into it. We've ruined all our chances with furries, cat people, feet people.
I'm okay with that.
I don't see a problem.
I don't know how big these audiences are. One of us could be a cat person.
I'm a cat person, but I'm not gonna make my Dungeons and Dragons character a cat person, and
All right, I'll scratch off my Tabaxi backup then.
Yeah, please. No, I think Flynn's character's gonna be a Tabaxi backup.
How about Harangon? Is that a weird thing as well? The rabbit people.
Oh, rabbit people? I've
Are
never
they okay?
encountered one.
That's some good stats.
Can't say anything. I'm an elephant.
I don't think elephants are things. I just keep hearing about that old woman that got trampled by an elephant twice.
Twice?
Well, she got trampled to death, and then it came back for her funeral. And
Yeah, she was
again.
she was like helping poachers or something, and the poachers killed that elephant's baby. So the baby so the elephant murdered her, and then came back to her funeral and fucked her up again.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts.
What is up with the cameras on this fucking stream?
Is Corin meant to be invisible?
No, I'm just trying to get my camera working.
Oh, cool. Was that the background we should all be using?
No. I like to think that Sarah and Joel are now sitting in the same office. That's what their weird D&D room looks like in a house or something.
I gotta figure out lighting. I gotta do better with lighting here in the future, probably next week.
You really do.
Yeah, I am a ghost.
Okay.
I buy makeup that's just white.
I mean,
I just buy white out. That's what
most of us are pretty pale, I'd say. Nice.
Okay. That works.
How did we feel about Cat Person, though, yesterday?
Great.
They're nice.
Yeah.
I'll give it to them.
Did they knock things off the table?
No, but they collected string, which was weird.
It was cutesy.
That's totally weird, especially compared to giving everyone friendship bracelets or collecting dicks.
Listen here, you little shit.
Yeah. Excuse me,
Well,
I'm
you're
here to
not
judge
wrong,
other
but-
people. I'm not here to be judged myself. Thank you.
I was not informed of this. I need to leave.
I thought new friend fell right in line. They didn't miss a beat. They joined in the story.
They
and
obeyed.
They obeyed. Oh no. So that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm not being obedient enough. Okay, well,
Well, you need to help me antagonize these two riders. That probably have no standing in the community.
Yeah, they might be grand champions. We might be murdered because we aren't them. I don't know.
No, our new person was great last night. Good role play.
Cool. Glad to hear
Interesting
that.
Character. No complaints, except for the cat thing. My next character is going to be a Tabaxi. My next character is going to be a Tabaxi cleric named Mr. Mistopheles or something. I'm going to take a character straight.
There you go.
Cats the
Well, then-
musical.
Is there a cat
Why
dog?
don't you take a dog character and just have your whole bit that you chase Tabaxi around?
That's a genius.
there you go.
That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Tabaxi Hunter.
1 second.
I played Tabaxi Monks a lot because I'm a movement speed. My God.
It's a really good tactical choice.
Wait. How do they work again?
I played an Aarakocra monk. That was enjoyable. But when you look at Aarakocra, most artwork is this valiant style of strong, tall, beautiful, elegant Aarakocra, and I just chose the shortest, fattest owl, and then put human arms on it.
Nice. Yeah, we don't play that game.
Well, there's an owl race, isn't there?
There is
Yes.
now.
Yeah. Can't remember what
It was not there before.
Ow.
I've been looking at the Kenku and seeing what I could think about doing with that. Because they interest me, the whole Raven thing.
And their mimicry feature.
Yeah.
The new one or the old one?
Old one. I haven't looked at the new one yet.
I think they can actually speak. Which is fair enough. It's probably quite annoying if you're playing 40 sessions and can't speak normal.
I'm just a little bit low energy today. Apologize for that in advance. Legs also killing me. But I'll be good to go once we start rolling.
To get better.
All right.
Your leg hurts. I was just saying, I hope you get better.
Ah, yeah, thanks. It's still recovering, so some days it just decides to crap out on me.
Does anyone in our group have Fireball?
Like the spell or the liquor?
Both.
Well, I know the
Rolls,
answer
don't
to the latter, but
I'm sure Brimir has it.
but does
I
Bramir
feel
have
like the
Fireball?
guy who does
Strange.
the guy who uses Wall of Force as a weapon probably has Fireball.
I did nothing but fireball all that werewolf camp. All
This
that werewolf
this is
cave.
all this is all I have. It's meat. Okay, that's all I have.
Ooh,
5 at least.
mead train. You are
Dark.
amongst a bunch of mead lovers.
This is dark meat.
I love mead.
Hidden Legend. Is
so Flynn here is gonna be labeling a new bottle of mead.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah?
I'm
It's
gonna
gonna-
be Troll's Folly after Joel's.
Ah, the good boost.
Are you really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder what the color scheme would be for it, because you got the black and red, you got the yellow.
I was
kind
gonna
of
do
cream
like
color.
green and grimy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what you kind of think of with trolls, right? You know,
Something
You-
green
you
and
act-
brown.
green and
So
brown.
you do
yeah.
bottle. So you do bottle meads.
Yeah. I make
Awesome.
my own mead. Yeah.
Very cool.
He goes all out too. We'll have to post something. Like it's really cool, and it's been working at it for a year and a half, since 2019 is when he started, right?
Yeah, 2019. Over 2 years now.
All right, so are we going live?
Yep, we have been live for the last 10 minutes. We're good to go.
Oh,
Are we posting live?
Warning.
Yeah, go for it. You can invite whoever you want.
Somebody said something about dropping it in at least a dozen locations. That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
who would do that?
that's not my department.
Yeah.
You can throw it in the lobby chat, you know.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, I totally had forgotten to blame you also for the Wall of Force as a weapon thing. I totally had forgotten about that as well. That's something else you did besides just existing as a lich.
Feeling very.
You feeling attacked? Are you feeling attacked? Oh,
Look,
not like I've felt attacked for the past week.
making a bet about whether you're gonna die in a week is not an actively aggressive act. We ain't gonna kill you. None of us. If I'd put
It's
Bramnir
suspicious.
kills you in that death pool, then that is a threat.
I'm not saying I'm actually
I have no control over
threatened by you. I'm just saying I've been accused of a lot over the course of the past week when my character has done nothing but give out friendship bracelets in this current campaign. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Well, you're gonna return that sword to Jalak.
And run a boat of slaves. That's all.
They're not slaves.
You told me you don't pay them.
They're very well paid.
That's not what you said before.
That is what I said before. You can ask Joel.
Can Flynn roll an IRL deception check?
So who wants to recap what transpired last week?
I rolled a 16. Plus my bonus of +9. So it's a 25 on deception. What is the recap for last week? We got
So he started off in the fight with Jalaxel.
Let him go.
He was just teleported away, and we decided to run. I set
so
fire
both-
to their last sail.
Got into it with a priest
That wasn't my fault.
of
I was being
Savris.
really nice to the priest. Yeah, Savris, whoever that is. Bought nice lodgings. I didn't even get to use them.
Right, that's because someone casually mentioned your condition.
Yeah, they
That you
outed
couldn't
me.
get drunk because of your condition.
As living intolerant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the priest wasn't appreciative.
No,
we could have ambushed him.
No, we couldn't have. He wasn't.
I think me and Brock could have taken him.
And then where were we headed right now? We were headed to the red market.
We're going to meet at the Red Priest of Say. We're talking about the place we're going right now, or the Eldani base.
Well, now we have to kill these people because you used Wall of Force to knock them off their dinosaurs.
We're not going to.
No, we just get into a little fight. They slap me. It's fine. As far as it's going to go.
Oh, I'm not here yet, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
we're just coming up the street.
Yeah, whoever's good at talking, come save me, because I put a giant Wall of Force in front of two people having a race. Illegally on a public street, I might add.
I did catch one at least, right?
We got both of them. Those birds are still on the floor, I think.
You keep saying like illegally, but you are in a foreign land in a foreign city that you've been here less than a full day, and you think you know the local laws.
They're breaking my rules. My rules are don't race on the street.
Yeah, the only rules that matter.
That's how it matters. That's how it works.
We have a mayor. We have a delegate in our party.
We have a literal diplomat with us. Joel kept mentioning that the animals are like writhing on the street. So I would say that they're being neglectful because they haven't even gone to check them. Said they came to harass me for some reason.
Okay, so I'm guessing, is this the only one that's come forward, the Tabaxi minstrel that was riding the dinosaurs?
He's with us. He's a...
Flask of Wine was his name, and quite the
yeah, I forgot about that.
The weaver of words. Cithril invited him to come along with us as we find Bramnir and Brock, because Flask of Wine in particular has been down the river before.
So what seems to be going on, gentlemen? What has occurred? There seems to be a. Oh, never mind. I can gather that you've caused an issue again.
They fell off their horse, and they're blaming it on us.
They fell.
Yeah, they fell. I caught one.
Well, I mean, they're not here, so why don't we move on?
They are in your faces still, shouting at Bramnir. In fact, as you guys are coming up.
Oh, I don't see their markers or their player character.
Well, you're not even all in the same spot right now. If you recall, you were coming up as Bramnir and Brock, was it?
Yeah.
Were at one section, and Bramnir has just thrown up the Wall of Force and gotten the local people to be shouting at him irately. And currently, two of them are in your facing. What kind of lunatic does something like that when you can simply step out of the way? Please, explain to me your logic for this now.
I'm an old man, my leg hurts. I can't just dive out of the way. I could have died. Did you think of that? Look at my leg! It's partially rotted. You can just run wherever I like. I'm not young. Like you.
Oh my god, what is wrong with his leg? What is happening here? What sort of thing are you?
I don't need to stand here and listen to this abuse. I'm going to leave and you'll be hearing from my attorney. And I'm going to start walking away and see what they do. Don't let me go.
They're shouting and arguing amongst themselves about how crazy you are, and if trying to decide what even was that, man? Did you see his leg? It was like the skin was coming off, and from his face as well. Other people are gathering around, and they're trying to prop up their steeds that were floundering on their sides. A small crowd of bystanders have gathered together and are watching all of this. Bramnir and Brock, off like about a block away, you can see your comrades making their way towards the street.
I'm just going to give them the signal to turn around, but just ignore this. So just keep going.
Are we being boxed in any way?
No, you're
Or
not being boxed in.
Oh, we should leave.
Just leave. Bramnir, let's think before we cast.
Are there any empty stalls around here that don't have any people in them?
Every one of these stalls has people in them.
All right, we need to. I'm just gonna grab Bramnir by the collar of his shirt, and I'm going to get in close to his ear, and I'm going to say, we need to find a fucking alleyway. We need to disguise you. And I'm going to pass him the hat of disguise that I have in my possession. And I'm going to try and lead him to like an alleyway or something where there are no people, or where we might be able to duck behind a corner. Maybe you can give me like a visual key, marking of somewhere where we might be alone for a second for him to use the hat of disguise.
It will take an hour to attune, but I can just turn invisible.
Oh yeah, that's better. Give me back the hat. Go invisible. And stay quiet.
Fine. Rude.
A
couple of merchants are trying to sell you their wares as they hold out pots with spices and some strange curved weapons, trying to get you to buy them as well.
The ones that are selling weapons, do they have any hand axes of good heft, but are still able to be thrown?
There's one merchant that deals in weapons, armor, and shield, all brightly colored but exceptional quality. And you find what look to be hand axes, but with like curved blades to them. And the handle swoops forward a little bit. Okay. But they have a good weight to them, and they probably could be thrown quite well with some practice.
All right. How much for two of them?
That would depend. Are you wanting commonplace ones, or perhaps something more magical in nature?
Well, if you have magical in nature, I will definitely take the improved version.
I can sell you such things for, pausing, looking you up and down, 650 gold.
500 for the pair.
Perhaps you would be best suited shopping somewhere else then.
I agree. Is there a place around here that sells boats we might be able to take down the river?
You wish to buy a boat? You are still some ways away from the river. That is going to be some distance you'll have to carry it.
Well, who should we speak to and where?
There is one person that sells small fishing boats. If you ask, you may find one named Wakanga Otomu.
And where would we be able to find Wakanga?
He should have a business near the north end of the bazaar.
My friend, I did not mean to insult your wares or your merchant. How about I say 550 gold?
Per each?
Yes.
And you are hoping to buy two, yes? Or was it three?
Let's see here. 550 gold times 3 is 1650. I'll buy 3 at that.
then we can come to a deal.
Okay.
The merchant pulls down 3 of these curved-bladed throwing weapons and carefully sets each one down in front of you, and you can see that they have a shimmering gleam to them and are razor sharp.
What exactly is the magical properties of these axes, my friend?
They fly more true and cut more deep than other kinds. They do quite well against some of the monsters you might encounter in the jungle.
Very good. Good deal.
Anything else? Magical properties too?
I have some spears here that would prove helpful to you. I have an excellent shield here as well, the last of the ones that we've made. Let's see. I also have several arrows, 2 quiver, I believe.
Do you have any cloaks that can protect me from the elements? Catch my
I
breath?
fear I have no such things, no.
Can I see the shield? I'm gonna compare it to mine, see if it's similar.
He pulls up a shield that is wood framed with a lizard like hide stretched across it, and then a metal rim. It's quite lightweight and agile, but it seems to be very resilient.
How much for the shield?
I can sell it for 525, given that your friend already spent a good deal with me.
Now, metagaming, is it a +1 or is it just something different?
Do you have identify?
I do not.
Then you would have to ask him and then decide if you believe him.
Do you know the magical properties it has? I understand it's light. Take a hit.
It will take a hit very well. You will find that the speed with which it moves offers more protection than a usual one, as you find ease to get it into position. I have found them quite resilient against all manner of attack.
So, you said 500, right?
525 was the number I said.
I'll take a. I'll take it.
Wonderful. Then it has been a most pleasurable time doing business with you, he says as he hoists the shield over and to you. And as you pick it up, you can feel that it's really only about 2 pounds, 3 pounds. And then as you kind of strum your fingers across the hide, it's taut as a drum.
I think I might like this one more than my old one. So, Captain, going to buy a boat now? Anyone else want to do shopping?
As you're getting ready, you hear more thrumming coming from down the streets and feel a faint vibration, and you see 2 of these large creatures coming barreling down the street again. Not directly at you, they're a block away, but swirling around the corner as people are watching and cheering. They're not the same 2 that Bramnir almost killed moments before.
Everybody,
and it seems that
out of the
others are
way.
racing. There's some cheers as they go roaring past, and some of the crowd leaves the marketplace street that you're on over to the next to observe the racing taking place. As you stand there and the street begins to thin out a little bit, you hear a soft voice say, "Tell me, are you at all knowledgeable of the great lord and seer Savras?"
We recognize his voice.
You do not recognize his voice. Not the same guy.
Do I overhear this?
Yes, you are all together now.
The individual who said this, what do they look like?
You see a figure in cream robes and a hood over his head, though not trying to conceal his face, as he looks at you with a soft, knowing smile and a little bit of curiosity, clearly seeming to recognize you to be travelers and newcomers to this place.
I take stock of this individual and I turn towards them and respond. I fear I am not a follower of Savras, but perhaps you can enlighten me. What is your name, new acquaintance?
My name is Zanti.
Flask of wine. Do you know a Zanti?
Flask looks at you uncomfortably and goes, "I believe I have just made acquaintance. Please forgive them. They are not familiar here. My name is Flask of Wine. It is a pleasure to meet you." And then Flask of Wine turns towards you and says, "Generally speaking, it is best to not refer to others in the third person in front of themselves."
Perhaps I can beg your forgiveness then. My name is Cithril, and it is a pleasure to meet you. I bow low, and upon leaning back up, I say, perhaps you have business with spreading the word of... who was that you said?
Savras.
Savras, of course. What business do you have with Savras, and do you need assistance?
Savras is the seer and knower of things. Savras seems to believe that you have some purpose yet. Savras also seems to believe that this one, he says, pointing at Bramnir, has some need of guidance.
Well, Bramnir, do you?
Well, yes. We are here to deal with the curse that seems to be befalling the earth, the world at large.
You refer to the one that is afflicting you.
Not just me, but yes, me. Many others. Anyone who's been reincarnated, reborn.
But that is not what you have done.
No. Well, yes, in fact, in a manner of speaking, that is what I have done. I have been reborn.
I believe Savras desires me to help you on a course of seeing the error of your ways, and perhaps one day to bring you to resolution and balance with the scales.
Help him help.
Oh my
How
God!
to
You
help
don't
him?
see? You don't see how he's gonna try and help him? He's gonna help him with the pointy end of a stick. You know, like how many weird, creepy people have we met along the ways, and you guys still haven't picked up that this guy just basically said he wants to, you know, kill Bramnir eventually? That was a clear threat.
Flynn,
Come on.
calm. Flynn, this is a cordial conversation. This is a very polite person. There's no
He
need
said
to
he
tell
wants
me
to
that.
bring you to resolution.
That's fair enough.
I have
No?
no such
Fair
desire
enough.
to harm your companion, merely perhaps for him to see the repercussions of his choice and turn away from it of his own volition.
And then?
Then he will do with himself what he wishes.
Oh, so you're just a religious nutbag.
I am one who serves the great seer and knower. I have no desire to harm your companion.
Delightful. Do you have any
I
guidance?
understand.
No?
Any guidance?
Any advice? Where should we be going? We were planning to go to the Eldani Basin at the advice of your Nambu? Or the priest of Savras?
He mentioned an incident.
He was not so kind.
I would recommend you speak with our grandfather Zetembe. He may have more insights for you.
Lovely.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Zanti, could you repeat your grandfather's name, please?
Zetembe.
where is he located? We weren't given direction to the church.
The Temple of Savras is just 5 blocks that way to the east. It is quite hard to miss.
We get lost easily. We're new here. Why, thank you. That was a little creepy. But thank you. Do we pay you, or?
If you have a desire to.
No. Flynn, do you want to pay him? I don't. How do you get him to leave? I don't. Thank you.
Would you lead us to the temple of?
I don't know if I want to go straight away.
You don't want to go straight away?
Desiring to?
I think we could take at least a little 10-minute powwow, a little side talk. I have a suggestion.
Yeah, let's go talk to the other religious nutbags. Yeah, let's go.
There's only one group of religious nutbags that I'm aware of. Is there another group of religious nutbags we should be concerned about, like an anti-Savros group, or one that?
There are servants of Gond and Sune here as well.
Gond and Sune. Gonsoon, you said?
Gond and Sune.
Gonsoon. Okay.
2 names, 2 people, 2 gods.
Flynn, I understand your hesitance to involve the gods in your life, but in my travels, I have found that their servants can often provide insights where questions and mysteries only reside. So do not so quickly dismiss their guidance and help.
Look, my big friend, okay, I've been around for a while. I've been on board my ship for many a year, and the only time I ever think it's a good thing for somebody to offer you resolution is when you're at a whorehouse, if you know what I mean. Okay, when religious nutbags offer you resolution, it's usually not a healthy thing.
What do you mean about the whorehouse?
I don't think we're at a whorehouse. This place is too clean.
You're in the middle of a street. That would be a very strange whorehouse. The priest of Savras looks at Bramnir one more time and says, "Tell me, each morning when you awake and consult your future, who do you think is guiding you?"
Oh.
You talking to me, or are you talking to... Who are you talking to
To
here?
Bramnir.
To Bramnir?
The bonds I have formed along the way of my journey. I believe strongly in the power of friendship and goodwill amongst men. You know, caring for one another, really. I think it's just love, just pure love. I'm guided by love, above all else, for all and everyone.
All we need is love.
Exactly, correct.
All we need... Okay, sorry.
In your ivory tower, I'm sure you know nothing of love, but Bramnir, I have a heart as big as anyone's. I can love just like any other.
He
You
tilts
know,
his head and he looks at you and he says, "But does it beat?"
I haven't checked, actually. That's a good point. Does it?
It does not.
Oh,
Can I
your
make
heart
it
does-
artificially beat with like a cantrip
your
or
heart does
something?
not
Just
beat.
to check my heartbeat. It doesn't need to beat, it just needs to be there. It might still be there. I can find another one, it's fine. There's a butcher around, sure. Easy enough. No scarcity of hearts.
You have a
I
bag
can
full of them
love.
right now, actually.
Well, there you go. We've got more love than anyone here.
The
You
priest
can
just kind of
leave.
looks at you and slowly shakes his head and turns and walks away.
Okay. I'll shake my head at you too. Ooh. Right.
cast Mage Hand and it waves goodbye.
I love it.
Weirdo religious folk.
Told you, religious nut jobs, man. They're everywhere.
Well, you know, some of them are better than others. Some of them at least give us information instead of just come to my priest place and we won't abduct you or anything. That's crazy. Right. We will never go there, I hope. We'll...
That seems like a trap.
This seems like a crazy trap. We already know where to go. The Eldani Basin with the magic cult red magic cult red wizards of Thay is what I wrote down.
One merchant in red and blue robes is walking around and calls out, "The next race will be taking place in 3 minutes' time. Anyone who wishes to place a bet can do so now."
Flynn, let's make some money.
Do you want to fucking do some gambling, man? I'm always up for a little bit of gambling.
We're gonna do some cheating, yes.
I like
Let's
I like to play the ponies. I don't know what the fuck those things are, but it'll have to be a decent.
Tell me which one you bet on. I'll trip the other one up.
I love it.
You want to cheat?
Oh, I'm very sorry. Oh, sorry. Are we against that now? Never mind.
No, absolutely not. It's great. It's a great idea.
Well, we shouldn't be saying this in front of the bet man.
He's not. He's down. He's like, I don't know. He's like 40 feet away. 30 feet away. He can't hear us. We're good.
Do we want to cheat? Is it worth it?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
we do not cheat.
The merchant taking bets is getting swarmed right now as you see sacks, purses, and pouches being exchanged, and he's making rapid notations.
I give 100 gold pieces to Brock, and I say, "Go ahead, place a bet. I put my complete faith in you."
That's not smart, but let's try it. I'm not very lucky.
While these guys are betting, Bramnir has made his, my brain is frying right now. Sorry. Flynn and Bramnir have made their opposition to going to see Savras, the Temple of Savras known. So Gilgamesh is going to. It's only 5 blocks away. So Gilgamesh is going to go to the temple and meet with the priest there while they're arranging their bets and doing their exchanging of money.
Okay. So you're headed your way over there while the bets are being collected. You hear that there are 3 contenders in this race. As people are shouting out, you hear descriptions as people say, "I'll bet on the 3 top." And other people shouting, "I'll bet on Blue Streak."
Which one has the highest odds?
Meaning the favorite or the long shot?
The long shot. I look back at Brimdeer. Right, Brimdeer?
Well, I don't know which. Is it clear who's like when they actually come past? How will I know which one's the one I meant to like kill or not kill? I won't kill. Impede. I mean, presumably the blue streak is blue, but I don't know way of confirming this is the only blue one. I don't. Are there pictures? Are there posters? Anything to indicate a name to a face?
There's not, but there is a starting line where the creatures are. Little worried. Please let's not have any dinosaurs harmed in the making of this bet.
I would never harm a dinosaur. I need them.
I would.
He needs them.
I like
yeah.
that we arrive to this foreign land and we see fucking dinosaurs racing, and we're like, we should buy a riverboat.
Just a side note.
And not go to church.
Corn. I don't know how much money we have because that was never ported over to the new sheets. I know we have the bag of holding. Do I?
11,000 total.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
in it. Was it
We had-
11,000 gold?
Which you split it up to 2,500 each.
Okay.
And then
I
people
didn't correct
spent
the
their
math
money.
then, but that isn't actually the correct way to divide that by 5.
I know. I understand
But-
that.
Okay, just checking.
Somebody wasn't.
No
I
one
think
else pointed
somebody
it out.
was- You did, I think, before.
It would actually be 2,200, but
Is it 2,200 divided by how many people in our group? 5? 1.
11,000 divided by
Yeah, yeah.
5, which
Yeah.
is the 5 of us, would be 2,200, yes.
Okay. So 2,002. Everybody put into your sheets 2,200, except for Phil, right? You just bought axes, or did you not buy them?
Yeah,
I
about
bought a
the
bunch of
axes.
stuff, actually.
And so you're at what, 1950 or something, Phil? I don't know how much you paid for the axes.
1,550, 1,650. So
Yeah,
So-
1650.
So
You'll have
you're
enough
at
gold.
you have 350 left? No.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
850 or 6050. My
How many
brain.
horses are in this race? Dino horses.
There are 3.
850. 850. Jesus.
There is a, not that you would know its name, but a velociraptor, a triceratops, and hadrosaurs.
I want to bet my personal 100 gold on the raptor, and I look back at Cithril. Which one do you want?
That's not part of this deal. This is you pick.
Yeah, we have to like pick one, and then we put our money on that guy, and then we do something to help that guy win. That's what we're doing.
The velociraptor is the odds-on favorite. It's labeled Blue Streak. The Triceratops is 3 top and is second favorite. And then the dead last is this guy here.
Oh,
Okay, so
As the odds for him are 4-1.
I'll give my 200 gold for him.
you think, Flynn?
Well, the smart play is to go for the middle one. Not the best, not the worst, but the one that's just like in the middle.
Well, the easiest would be to have either one at either side. For me to try and cheat or whatever. If there's 2 in a row, I can do a low bearing wall just to try and trip them up. I can animate an object perhaps and trip them up that way. Maybe make some stand fall over or something. I don't know. But like if we're trying to just the one in the middle is going to be the hardest because then I have to do 2 separate things.
So, question from there. I'd say in secret. Can't you animate object the reins and make them do funny things?
I can certainly try. I don't actually know how it interacts with people that are not being worn or carried. I don't think it would work on that. But there might be some rope or something. We have our own rope. We can just animate some rope, trip them up, and pull it back quick enough.
All right. So we're either going with the worst or the best one, is
accident.
what you're saying right now.
Yes.
We're
We don't have to
saying,
do this at all.
Buddy.
We can.
No,
just
we
like a
have to
small amount of
gamble.
money. We don't
We're
even
here.
need-
We've got extra money. I'm feeling it. You don't feel the rush?
The
We don't have to
coin
cheat.
is flying around, and the merchant is calling out, "Last bets, last bets!"
All right, give me a bet.
200 on Slowy.
Okay, we're going slow guy. I'm gonna put 1,000 on slow guy because what'd you say? The odds are 8-1.
4 to 1.
4 to 1. Fine. We're going 4 to 1 on Slowy. 1,000 from me. 200 from you.
400 from Brock.
Flynn has a gambling addiction, by the way, guys.
I'm totally gonna go the other way to make sure that he doesn't. Okay.
I look right in Bramnir's decomposing face and I say, "Do not fuck this up. Do not fuck us on this, okay? Do not fuck
You
us."
can cheat as well. Surely you're even better. You're a rogue. It's not like your wheelhouse.
So how much has been put on the Hadrosaurus?
On the slow guy, looks
locally
like...
named the cow.
The cow. I put 1,000, and Bramnir put 200. Nick, you bet on the Velociraptor, right?
No, I put it on the slow one.
Okay, so 1,400. Phil, you're not here. Solly,
I'm not here.
I look at Flynn. Looks at Sithril.
Sithril gestures towards Brock, and I say, Brock is taking care of affairs for me.
Her money's
So
part of the 400.
1,600 in total. Do I have that right?
Yes, that sounds about right. And I look at the entire party with just this look of disappointment and borderline disgust. Like, you guys are barely betting anything.
What do I need the money for?
I don't know.
We're going deep into a random jungle. Like,
I don't even.
To
be honest, I don't even feel like I need this money. I was just gonna give it away to some poor guy, but I don't know. You gotta feel the rush, man. You gotta
give it to a crew.
They got paid already.
Yeah.
You give it to some stranger on the streets. Fine, whatever. I'm not a businessman. I'm just an undead abomination.
How about this, Flynn? We just drink to our bets, right?
How subtle should I be? I could just set fire to 2 of them.
Oh my god.
God, just fucking, yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm good with this. Whatever you want to do, man, I'm giving you free reign to do whatever the fuck you want.
People are starting to gather by the front line as you see all 3 of these creatures lined up with riders on them. One figure moves out towards the front holding a flag and prepares to count down as they prepare to roll initiative.
What just popped up?
I don't know what popped up.
My avatar and token just popped up in front of me. I didn't click anything. That was weird. I thought you did it.
That was not me.
Oh, interesting.
The figure holding the flag calls out, 1, 2, 3, and begins to flap it as the 3 creatures are going to be rolling initiative now. Left to right, starting with the Velociraptor, the Triceratops, and then the Hadrosaurus. As they take off. Wow. That is not a good start for the Hadrosaurus.
It's okay, we're going to cheat.
Is that our guy?
Yeah, that's our guy.
As the Velociraptor went first with a 19, Triceratops with a 13 went second, and then the Hadrosaurus dead last with a 6. As they take off with a burst, the crowd lets out a cheer and whoop as some vendors are offering food rolled up in paper. The dust kicks up beneath the 3 of them as they begin racing around the corner. They are about to go out of view as they go skittering around the first loop. I don't know what your plan for cheating is, but
Flynn just shrugs.
And Bramner's like, "Oh God, no, I'm not cheating."
Cheaters don't prosper. This is to teach you all a lesson. Most of you, Flynn, don't cheat. It's very bad.
Look, let me put it to you another way. I just bet our boat money on a fucking race here, pal. So unless you want to go walking through the fucking jungle out there, you better hope to God something happens. That's gonna help our fat piece of shit thing, whatever that thing is, win this race.
And I'd hate to
cheat all you like. I'm not gonna stop you.
I hate to have to drop you off at the church before we get done here. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chop him off at the
Wow.
Do we even have any idea
Oh.
where they're going? They're just turning around the corner.
Well, I'm assuming this is the finish line. Like in the Fast and the Furious franchise, they always end where they start. You know.
Do we have any indication this is a short or a long race? We didn't do
that
any
would've-
planning for this.
That would have been an excellent question to ask.
I never intended to cheat. I didn't think you'd get
Do I
so
know
upset
how a
about it.
roulette
Jeez.
wheel works? No, but do I bet on it? Yeah.
I have got precious few spells. I couldn't dare waste it doing something so evil.
Well, we're walking through the jungle then, baby. That's how this is working.
Let's see if we can find the finish line. I'll try then.
We bet the gas money on this horse.
So the starting line is here as they go blasting off around this way. You've no idea how long this race is, but they've gone around the corner over here, and I mean, you can very much hope that they end here as well.
So they just left, is what you're saying? Like we don't even know where the racetrack is. Our bets just left.
This is an important lesson about morals and virtue.
Is this like a transcontinental race or something? Like how this race could be like across the island?
It's very unlikely. Which
The
side?
results will be published in 9 days' time when the race is completed.
Yeah.
That was the most anticlimactic bet I've ever made.
Let's just ask someone. Where's the finish line? I go ask anyone around. Like, excuse me, where does this race actually finish? We're new. Can you give me an approximate destination within 500 feet, if preferable, and then I can do something about it? Including.
The race is going to end there. They are going to ride around almost the entire market ward.
Well, let's just wait right here.
Right, well, quick! Let's go there and see if we can beat them to it. Is it, by my calculations, if we ran there, would we be able to beat them to the finish line?
Yes. If you ran, you'll be able to make it to the finish line, as other people are running over there right now as well.
Okay. We'll run over and I'll decide then whether I'm going to teach these people a lesson or not. How dare you suggest cheating? Very rude.
You suggested cheating. It was your idea.
This was clearly a joke. Let's find out.
So
While we're running there, do we have any suggestions on how I should cheat? I can run them up.
Like trip them, or I don't know.
I think this joke went poorly. I didn't think he'd put all his life savings on this. I mean,
That's not even half my money.
it's fun.
I'm okay.
As you go hurrying back, you make it to the finish line. As other people have gathered around, there is a good crowd and there is cheering. And one merchant is standing up on like a little soapbox type thing and calls out, "Blue Streak is in the front!"
How far is he from the finish?
They just made halfway.
Only
The cow is trailing by 10 meters.
I'm gonna look at the group. Anybody have like out of character actually? Does anybody have like bardic inspiration you can give the cow?
So I was going to
haste?
ask if they would be in earshot. Like, where are we in relation to the current race participants?
Well, if you headed back towards the finish line, they're essentially over here. Not an earshot, a good few hundred yards away at least.
Well, what are you planning to do? Maybe you can run towards them and get the spell done before the end of the race.
I
Me?
run
Oh.
towards the finish line.
Well, you're at the finish line more or less. They're advancing further, and then the merchant calls out, "Three Top has caught up to Blue Streak. The cow is still flailing."
Stephen, why would you bet on the slowest?
Yeah, like what kind of stupid people bet on the slowest of the creatures?
People who have crippling gambling addictions and they're just in it for the thrill. The Rush. If I wanted to make money, I would have bet on the fast one.
Can you have haste on the fast one? The slow one? Slow on the two?
Somebody have haste? No?
I don't. When would you ever use haste? I've never found a good situation in which haste would
I don't know how spells work. I'm asking you. Flynn's panicked and he's asking everybody. You guys got to figure something out. What can you do? Talk. It's not like I can
turn you into a giant ape and you can just run into the track and throw the two off. I don't intend to do that, but I could.
Can't you just turn them into...
We'll call that Plan B.
Look, I'll just stick with the wall. It's fine, it'll do the job.
Is it invisible? It just like shimmers.
Yeah,
okay, maybe you can.
Invisible.
Maybe you can we can cover
Let's
you up and you can
level.
stealth do it. Yeah.
I start to make my way away from the finish line and towards the whatever track these dinosaurs are on. I need to put some space between the finish line and where they are. I'm trying to get within 30 feet.
I think so.
Can I cast invisibility on you? Would that help? I'll turn invisible just to see if that helps get you closer. Then I don't know what you're planning. Trust you.
I start booking it. I start, Assassin's Creed style, shoving my way through the crowd. I'm invisible.
Right there. Can't you vortex warp to behind?
Oh, I have a really good idea. I have an amazing idea.
Cithril is charging towards the creatures racing as you can see them off in the distance coming around one corner as people are kind of leaping out of the way as a few of them skitter along just a little bit outside of control. There's also plumes of dust trailing up behind them as the Triceratops and the Velociraptor are neck and neck right now.
Oh boy.
The cow is some ways back still, and the people are clapping and cheering, and some of the kids keep wanting to wander a little bit into the street to get a better view, and they're getting yanked back by adults, parents or otherwise, trying to keep them out. As you're running down the street towards them, there's more than a few passing shouts from people as the storm that is Flynn is blowing hard.
Finn does.
You hear a few people shouting out, "Hey, you're gonna get trampled! Get out of the street!"
Who?
Cithro.
Oh,
should be invisible.
Yeah, I'm invisible.
I cast invisibility.
Invisible. Okay. Then as you're bearing down on them, they're now about 100 feet away from you. Still neck and neck. The cow is about 8 yards behind the other two.
Oh, man. I am dashing. I need to dash. I'm just running. I'm running as quick as I can. Towards a bunch of dinosaurs running at me. This is exciting.
They get in within 60 feet as the Triceratops has kind of bashed his head into the Velociraptor, knocking them both a little bit off balance, creating a small window for the cow to get within 5 yards of the other two. Still some ways back, but made a little bit of headway, and now within 60 feet of you and headed straight at you. Cithril is in the middle of the street with 3 dinosaurs charging at.
Nobody can see me, but I'm Naruto running. Arms straight back.
Lowering your speed significantly.
They're within 50 feet. And then 40. And as you see them bearing down out of your peripheral, you notice that on the sides of the street, the people are packed together tight, creating no space for anyone to push through as they're all eager to get the best view. What does Cithril do?
Continue to run.
Straight at them?
Yeah.
They are bearing down as they're continuing to jostle each other. The Triceratops' 3 horns are poked straight forward right now, almost as if it was aiming at you, and it pulls just ahead of the Velociraptor as its wide head is kind of pushing it back bit by bit.
That's the cow?
No, the cow is in 3rd place.
Oh, yeah.
It is now within 15 feet of you. Its 3 horns ready to jab at you in a moment's notice.
I would like to baseball slide under its feet, and cast a spell. That is what I would like to do. There's no more words to describe.
You are running forwards as it opens up its beak and lets out a screech, and you see a very small space below its belly that you might be able to slide through. Can I get an acrobatics check from you as you try to slide under?
I don't understand why my athletics is better than my acrobatics, but I'm rolling acrobatics.
Shouldn't be with advantage, but
I didn't
yeah, I'm not sure. As you slide underneath, you just narrowly avoid its feet, but you kind of hit your head on its hard, scaly belly. But you do manage to slide under. As you're doing so, you say you wanted to cast a spell. Cithro?
Indeed, I would like to use a compulsory effect with compulsion, and any creatures of my choice that I can see within range that can hear me must make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, okay, let's see how good a Triceratops is on its wisdom save.
This is it right here. This is the dice roll.
And this is going to set the tone for the rest of the campaign if the dinosaur can out-wisdom you. All right, it's a flat roll.
A 1.
Oh.
You get a 16? What did it get? I exited Foundry.
It got a 1.
Oh, it did! It failed! Ah!
It crit failed.
That mean it falls after?
Are you doing only the Triceratops, though? Because the Velociraptor is almost in a dead heat with it.
No, I'm doing both of them. I was going to get the first place and second place.
Okay. Here comes the Velociraptor.
Oh my goodness!
What?
Oh
that.
my goodness! How does that happen?
That is the campaign set right there.
Wow, that is the campaign set. I think we all get a bonus for the rest of our wisdom rolls. The
I think
whole
we level.
campaign right there.
That's a milestone.
Do I get inspiration? Was that inspirational?
That was
You deserve it. Oh my god.
Dispirational.
Cithro knows really nothing about these creatures, even whether or not they could be charmed. But yes, so I determine a direction that they must use all of their movement speed to go.
Okay, and what direction do you compel them to go?
Down.
Wait for each other.
Hard left into the crowd.
And you make them just go into each other for how long's left?
Oh no! What does it mean? My trajectory was towards these creatures. I slid underneath them. I casted compulsion, but the wording of it is that I have to designate a direction that is horizontal to me. What does that mean? If I'm facing north and they're facing south, does that mean I have to direct them east or west?
Horizontal, yeah. Yes, it does.
That's straight into the wall of people. What have I done?
Yes!
Yes!
You're so much worse than me!
Yes! The new group baddie! The new group baddie! It's not me. It's not Bramnir. Who knew it would be Cithro? Yes!
Go murder those children that were told to stay off the street.
Wow!
Enter your own risk, Dragon Racer.
You're also visible, by the way, because casting a spell breaks it.
So I guess
I was gonna get to that in a second.
One right and one left. I just part the dinosaur sea.
All right, so you are sending one right and one left.
The most victims.
As you go for the most victims, at the same time you become visible. At the same time, you become visible directly underneath the Triceratops into full view.
They're not dust. You said they were kicking up dust.
They're kicking up dust. Yeah. Okay.
You should get her. You should give her a reaction roll to see if she can go stealth.
But I didn't cast invisibility.
It still breaks when you cast a
breaks
spell.
on whoever casts the spell. Yeah.
I see.
Just as if you make an attack. So you become visible right as both. Oh my god.
Okay. We're gonna get trampled by a cow.
I didn't think you'd be.
So, the Velociraptor. I mean, you're not telling them to attack. The Velociraptor goes running into the crowd. It tramples.
Oh, 3 children.
3 people.
3 children, you dick.
As it goes straight through the wall of the crowd. The Triceratops, however, is also going towards the more heavily, densely packed section here.
Why didn't you just make them go into each other?
Oh, you get so lucky as it only tramples 5 people as they go into a panic and try to leap out of the way. However, the trampling is far more fatal as 2 are impaled right away. And as this all happens in the same split second, you hear the rumbling of more feet, and I will need a dex save from Cithril as the cow is headed straight over you.
This is going to be the coolest suicide in D&D history.
Yep.
I don't even...
epic.
I'm glad we didn't commission that artwork yet. Oh my.
How do I know how Flynn reacts to this if I don't know how I'm reacting to this?
Joy. You're not the worst. You can't be now.
21.
Oh my.
Roll for stealth. Roll for stealth. See if you can disappear in the dust behind the...
You narrowly make it out of the way as you were prone in the middle of the street as the cow was bearing down on you. As you slide under one car and then have to roll out of the way of another one that's about to run over you. The screams are filling this section of the market as the cow, oblivious to all of this, just thinks it's luck and keeps plowing down towards the end of the race.
You have disadvantage if you're prone, don't you, on dex saves?
No.
Oh, fair
enough.
As much as I would love to see Cithril get stomped to death for this,
I kind of was hoping she would. No, you're right. Yeah.
The look on Sarah's face.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Trying to give you a way out. Death.
I would like to attempt to stand up and just observe the scenery around me. I guess in the scene of this is horrific. People are getting impaled and trampled. I would shape change like immediately in the dust and the commotion to look like a local and try to into the crowd and disappear.
If you want to look like a local, you're going to have to make yourself look trampled too.
Such a good play though.
No, it was... You make the one on the left go right and the one on the right go left, and then they meet in the middle and crash, and that's it. She just killed so many innocent people. We have to go to that church now.
Why? I didn't think about that possibility. That they
can't even be resurrected now. There's no hope for them.
Oh my god. I was thinking more for Sanctuary, but yeah. Like, they're dead. They're not coming back, yeah.
Yeah, they're trapped.
Guess who got our boat money?
Well, I'm pretty sure this race will be invalidated. You're in the middle of the track. Immediately after 2 of them ran off.
But the chaos, did they actually see her, though?
Yeah, that's...
Well, I mean, there's 100 people watching intently, I would have thought. Well, I don't know. Not for me.
I'm pretty sure they would have started watching the carnage happen.
Yeah.
They were watching the race to begin with. Yeah.
As you pull yourself up, in with shape change, you can't change your clothes, can you?
Nope.
So, as you change your appearance but are still in, to be fair, foreigners' clothes, standing in the middle of the street where the dinosaurs just passed over, you look around to see wreckage and carnage as people are screaming and there is blood in the streets. The direction of the velociraptor is not too bad, as there's only 3 people on the ground groaning, one clutching his stomach as it seems one of its claws came down on him. The other direction, though, is just like a canyon of bodies and has knocked over several kiosks and stalls, and one building about 10 yards away from the street has a chunk of the facade ripped away, and like the awning is starting to topple down. It was too tight a space, and the Triceratops actually just like plowed through one corner of the building.
Might be too much.
This is their 9/11. And you just caused it.
Dude!
Too soon. Too soon.
Darn!
Yeah,
Wow.
This is the worst mass casualty event this fucking city's ever seen.
Yeah, right. They live with dinosaurs. There had to be worse.
This place sees some troubles. They get attacked.
Oh, good to
We'll put it behind.
Run of the mill and normal. Okay.
But yes, there is a number of bodies there, as the rolls were the casualties, not the injuries. So those were the fatalities.
Oh, it's fine. It's only 8. We can make it.
Only 8 dead. By your rough estimate of what you're looking off towards the Triceratops, there are about 20 people injured.
Oh, only 20. Cool. Where's my money?
Yeah.
The rest of you over at the finish line see just the one cow lumbering along with its rider, looking around really confused as to what's just happened. But it is just hauling ass down the line and goes running across the finish line, as word of the incident hasn't made it around the corner yet, and people let out groans and shouts of annoyance and frustration and a few very confused cheers. As the rider dismounts and holds his arms aloft but keeps looking down the street back, waiting for the other 2 to come down, as a number of the crowd are also looking like, I thought this was a 3-man race.
Flynn like pats Bramnir on his chest and goes, "See, I told you there were going to be no negative consequences whatsoever to us placing that bet. We've got this."
You know, I was just going to turn our friend here invisible and get them to grapple the 2. No harm, no foul, but
yeah,
seemingly this was a much better plan. Whatever happened, Cithril did.
I mean, whatever happened.
I'm sure there's no bodies, at least.
Absolutely not. Cithril is the safest magic user out of anybody in this adventuring party. I would bet that
really
that
a moral compass.
She probably just gave them like sore tummies. They probably got stomach aches or something along the way and had to stop the race.
Wimpy like a bird.
Yeah,
no stomach for blood.
Exactly. We're fine. Where's the guy with our money?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go find him.
You see the guy with your money pull himself up onto the soapbox and say, one moment, please. There has been a grave incident around the corner. We will be investigating what has transpired and then settling the bets immediately after. There have been fatalities. Please, go with caution and see how you can help.
Flynn, Brock? Maybe we should just leave.
I'm sure they're fine. Maybe it's just a little bit worse than a tummy ache, but we'll be fine.
This will definitely have been our fault. I don't want to be involved. I've already got too much heat on me.
No. We're fine.
I'm at least 1 star just walking around like this.
No. You're fine. We gotta.
At least 1 star.
I can't handle 2 or 3.
How long would it take you to discuss things with the priests and return to the rest of the group? Am I?
You would just be wrapping up. We're going to move over to your interaction in a second, but you're just wrapping up and headed back.
Okay, I didn't know if I would be back in time for this part of the conversation, or if I'm still way over there. And
you're showing up to the chaos that ensues. Yes.
Oh my.
Sithril, what are you doing in the middle of the street as this takes place?
Holding concentration. Sorry. So if I was facing north before as I charged towards him, like this is all hypothetical to put it into juxtaposition, but if I was facing north before and I sent them east and west, I turn my body to face east, and I would compulse them to go whatever direction is towards the finish line, using a bonus action to designate that line that is horizontal to myself.
So you're just telling them to start like zigzagging?
I can use a bonus action on each of my turns to designate a direction that is horizontal to me for them to go. It must take its action before it moves, and then it moves in that direction.
Right. So you're having them change directions?
Yes, from east to west to the finish line now, like as if they're getting back on track.
I see. You're also... Oh, goodness. It requires that they keep moving, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what's your spell save DC?
16.
Those are 2 saves, a 14 and a 3. They do not save.
Oh.
And what's more, they might have just pulled up and stopped running of their own volition, but because you are compelling them, they are continuing to plow along and then circling back around to plow through a further down patch of crowd to get back onto the street, if I'm following correctly.
Yeah.
So I'm missing something there.
In for a penny, for a pound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep this routine every day. I make my bed. Fucking lie in it.
The more chaos you make, the easier it is to get away, I guess.
I'm panicking inside internally. She's barred panicking, so it comes out as like a whistle.
Flynn has never done anything this wrong, by the way, or this bad. Like, everybody was so mad at me because I, in the last campaign, recruited some children and gave them superpowers. You've just murdered so many people.
Well, we made money.
I mean,
that's such an invalid race.
That did more or less make you vaught, but...
It did, but what is this? What is this if it's so much worse than that?
There's no way we get away with this, is there?
So, as the rest of you are... what direction were you all at the finish line heading? Were you heading to where the incident was, or decided to just get out of there?
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I like to think we'd probably all be like, all right, no, we gotta go check this out, like, what's happening.
Well, you don't think they're gonna be like, look, it's the Lich Man! He did it! He's murderous! He's already ruined one race! I'm going to the magic place! Screw this!
We gotta try to help, because if we don't, it looks like we're the ones who did it. So I'm gonna go try to help.
Yeah, I'll try to help as well.
These dinosaurs. I'll try to grab.
I'm not going to the crime scene. I'm out. I'm out. I'll meet you later, back near the pub.
It must be so hard being a lich in the land of the living, all the prejudice you've got to deal with.
These dead bodies around, it might be okay.
As the rest of you are heading towards the incident, suddenly about 10 yards in front of you bursts the Triceratops back through the crowd onto the street and barreling now towards you.
Is it still moving through a crowd?
It has emerged from the crowd onto the street, but you were coming down the street.
Okay, it's not going to hurt anyone anymore at this point, as far as I'm aware.
As far as I'm aware, it's still under the control of Sithril and still compelled to keep running straight.
Okay, from my judgment, if it runs straight, is it going to murder anyone else?
It
If it is, I'm going to do
will
something to
run
stop it.
into you. Well, not
Just
into
me.
you,
I'll
but
get out
into
of the
the
way.
others.
Why not get out of the way?
The others in the street.
Why, Ramnir, that's perfectly magnanimous of you. Why would you
I'm
do
going to
that?
try and stop it from murdering innocent. I never wanted to murder anyone innocent. I just made jokes about setting them on fire. I don't actually do it. Jesus.
I'll catch him, Burnmere. I'm gonna get big as it runs towards me, and I'm gonna try to snag it. And hold it.
You guys know that.
Okay.
We could
So
be
you
heroes.
are going to try to brute force it as it is barreling at you. So you go into your large form.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to catch both of them, if that's possible. But definitely the one with the horns.
The Velociraptor right now is a little bit behind it still, but so you can start with that one as it is charging straight at you. That is gonna be. Can I get your athletics check as you try to stop this thing cold?
I am big, right? So it's an advantage.
It's huge.
So huge,
I can't.
So I don't have disadvantage, right?
It has advantage. I don't know if you have disadvantage. I'm not sure you'd have advantage if it's against a huge creature, though.
I thought if it was one size larger, that it doesn't matter, right?
No, you can even try. You can't even try to grapple something that's more than one size larger than you. Yeah, grappling rules. But if you're going into your large form, let's see. If you're large, advantage on strength checks, irregardless of size. Okay. You have a chance to grapple it. The advantage comes from Giant's Might, with no size limitation on there, but it has advantage at you as well.
So straight rolls.
No, it's 2 advantages.
That works.
Oh, terrible rolls from it as you manage to. How do you want to do this? How do you grapple a Triceratops?
I literally want to grab it with one arm and wrap my trunk around it and just try to slow it down by its head while trying to brace and get ready to grab the raptor as it runs by the other side.
All right, you are slowly coming to a halt as you're sliding backwards and holding it. The Velociraptor is barreling down as the Triceratops is still being compelled to move forward, so it is bucking against you hard. The Velociraptor comes up next because the Triceratops is still trying to break free. The Velociraptor will get advantage on its check as well, though it's not nearly as big.
Calm down, little buddies. Do I have advantage, right? Still?
Yeah, you should still have advantage.
Come on, let's do it.
That is a 23 to your 24 as you barely manage to hold on to it in a complete defiance to any rhyme or reason of physics right now, as you, a single Luxodon, has somehow grappled and brought to a stop 2 dinosaurs, one of which is weighing probably in the vicinity of about 3,000 pounds, but good for you.
And I'm just going to stand there and be like, run, everybody, I'll hold them.
No way.
I like to think that I'm holding the one very firmly, and I just got the tip of the tail of the raptor.
How far away are the raptors, the dinosaurs from me now?
About 150 yards.
150 yards. So, is that still within sight here in this daytime environment?
Around the corner.
Oh, they're around the corner?
It's a slight bend. Say you were here and they're like over here now.
Can I attempt to run towards the finish line?
Of course.
If I get in sight of Brock, I'd like to drop concentration, seeing what is transpiring now.
Okay. The animals begin to chill and calm as the rider seems horrified at what's just happened, as it didn't have any control of its steeds.
Well, if they calm down, I'm gonna let go and just look at the riders. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Look at all the people you killed. You're lucky I was here.
As a local looking individual now, I call out, the Loxodon is a hero!
You do this in disguise, right?
Mm-hmm. He saved us all!
Cithril, we're having a chat about this after today's session. Better talk about this behavior.
For reasons not entirely clear, the crowds are not in the mood for cheering on his deeds right now. They're still left a little horrified as to what's just taken place. As they are running around trying to tend to the wounded and injured alike. Cithril, what are you doing?
Isithra would attempt to to take like quick cover, duck down in the chaos of some sort, or perhaps step around a quick corner or an alley, and then shape change back to Cithril's elven look, and then start curing wounds, mass cure wounds, etc. Expending spell slots, stepping up to people using healing word, Mother Teresa style.
How magnanimous of you.
My hero.
That's not even a good call out. St. Francis style. No, that's worse. No. I don't know. I want to be a hero, man. It's hard to be a villain.
This is literally what some villains do: is they cause mass casualty events and then try to save the people they put in harm's way. This is like the plot of so many different villain origin stories.
Really is, yeah.
You just have to be better than the person you were the day before. So if you murder only 7 people tomorrow, you're on the right path.
Oh my god.
It's incremental. It's difficult, but it's incremental. So murder 7.
I love that, Bramnir. I love how good that sounds. You just have to be better than you were yesterday.
One day you'll be murdering no people per day.
Leave it to the Lich. Leave it to the Lich to make an argument that killing 7 people tomorrow is a good improvement.
It's an improvement. I didn't say a good one, but it's an improvement.
We don't even know what she did.
We know what she did.
I fully believe the jockeys are at blame.
I feel like I don't even know you guys anymore.
I know. I sent my concentration drop.
My last words to you all were, "Don't cheat." When I walked away, don't cheat. And I turn around and come back, and again, this. Like, I can't leave you for a second with this stuff happening.
Wasn't going to.
This isn't our fault. This is Cithril's fault.
Why do I not believe you? I don't believe you for a second that this isn't
one
your
of my
fault.
plans had any innocent death in at all. None of them.
Look, we are here for Cithril in this time of need she's clearly going to be going through.
You're blaming Cithril for this.
Yes.
You're blaming... Oh, that's low even for you, Flynn. That's low even for you.
None of us recommended go send these beasts and trample the bodies of everyone around us.
You know what you should... We were talking about just tripping them or hey, messing with the reins a little bit.
I was
Cithril literally
and grapple them.
Turned them into 3,000-pound wrecking balls and sent them into crowds with children. This is what is going on here?
Look, we have a goal. Let's see if we get the money. I assume this race will invalidate it. Hopefully at least we get what we bet back. See if we can find some fun magic items, get a boat, and go kill the Red Wizards, and we'll never speak of this again.
No, I'm getting my money.
Yeah, I risked my life for that money.
Literally.
Events have taken place
I
here.
mean-
It is too far to go back to just getting a refund. I am getting my money.
You cheated.
I didn't do anything. I
It's
placed a
not
bet.
fair.
Cithral's the one who cheated.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
didn't cheat.
What in all nine hells are you doing? What are you're all just standing around here talking. Look at these injured people. We must help them.
Where exactly is the guy who took the bet money from us?
He was
Back over by the finish line.
Trying to save people, probably.
The body count has also gone up now that Cithril directed them to charge back onto the street.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh my.
Oh god.
I cure wounds harder.
This is the best secretly
Oh,
evil aligned character I've ever
no!
seen.
No!
Oh, I was going to make one a natural 20.
14.
Never mind.
So that brings it up to 22 down.
Am I covered in blood right now?
I
Yeah.
can't imagine you. Oh yes, you are, because you're rubbing all up against the front of these things that are
Yeah, because you were grappled
plowing
with
through people. Yeah, yep. That's not
Told
good.
you. But I said this, no safety railing. People just running up to the tracks. This is the fault of a lack of secure raceways. There should be walls, barriers. You know?
Yeah, what business did they have? All standing shoulder to shoulder with no space to leave or run or dodge.
Kind of like at a race of
Inevitable.
cars. You stand there and you get killed. It's not the
Oh, we're
city's
saving
or
people.
ours responsibility.
Did I ever work out
Yeah.
what this...
What
Am I-
this?
I bought a staff that you said might be a healing staff before we went on the boat trip. And I would have tried to identify it, I just never remember to ask. It might be useful now, is all I'm thinking. If it's a staff of healing, this might be the right time for
The
it.
only thing that's going to be useful right now is the divination wizard. Okay?
This one.
Yeah, I don't think you got the power to turn back time that far.
Yeah.
I only think
I
of
went
a chronologist.
I went to talk to the
chronology.
Seekers that you didn't want to talk to, so, hey.
I don't want to get trapped in a temple.
Yes, blame our lack of
don't
religion
even
for
think
this
I can
horrible
walk
thing
in a
that
temple.
came to be.
I'm
Do
pretty
I-
sure I'm bad.
I'm not blaming anything for anything except for your guys' tendency to cheat the system. That's
You
all.
literally said if we went to church, none of this would have happened.
Look, what is this stick?
You would have learned it is attunement required by bard, cleric, or druid.
Oh, I don't know if Sissel's
can
going
I-
to deserve this now. Do I know anything
Yes.
other than it's just...
It
Cithril?
is. It appears to have healing properties, but is attunement required.
Cithril, after your work here today, I really think you've earned this.
Cithril has approached the group or approached Bramney here, or whoever they run into first. I approach and I go, "What happened?"
You killed a bunch of people.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Concentration dropped, and suddenly people were screaming and there was
We
a
saw
lot of
you,
blood everywhere.
Cithril. We saw
We
you.
didn't see it.
They're trying to
Choose
blame
this.
you for all this. I'm sure that they had something to do with it.
I wasn't in on the plotting whatsoever for getting your boat money, as it were. Thank you for backing me up, Gilgamesh.
Trust
Thank
me.
you.
This
Don't
many
know.
body on your conscience, you're going to want to share.
You do not.
We'll back you.
Do you ever want to have a
100%.
decent night's sleep again?
But
Ever?
you have to unload this. This is not a mental burden anyone should carry. Trust me, I'm a lich.
Question.
Oh, now you're a lich. Now you're a lich. I see how it is.
I wanna
You're
get
only
that
a lich
bumper
for
sticker.
I'm a
convenience.
lich.
Trust me, I'm a lich.
Do you all know how to get blood out of your clothes?
Yes, prestidigitation.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a booming, amplified voice that echoes across the market right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hearing reports that there was one sighted who may have tampered with this race.
I'm gonna look right at Bramnir and say, "Make her invisible. Make her invisible. Make her invisible."
He's disguised right now, just a reminder. She doesn't look like herself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you dropped it.
Yeah, I did. I changed back into Sith Rogue.
Oh
so that,
God!
Make her invisible. Make her invisible. Make her invisible.
that was so that my own party members would recognize me.
Oh,
I
invisible. Bloop. Keep that one for now. Please don't cast anymore.
I never did.
Oh my God.
You can't lie to me about the concentration. It dropped on me. Like, I didn't drop it. It lasts an hour otherwise.
All bets and payments will be suspended while we investigate the cause of this tampering and find the one responsible.
No. I'll go over to the
If
guy.
you saw anything suspicious, the voice echoes reverberating across the market. Please report it to the officials.
Go over to the officials. Are you coming?
Yeah, I'm right behind him in a huff. I've got an aura of Karen spreads all over Flynn.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm still big when I walk over there, so heated.
I think we should stay back.
If I use Bardic Inspiration on Flynn, would that ruin the invisibility?
Shouldn't.
No, should not.
Not a spell or an attack.
I've whispered to Flynn, whatever you're going to say, you're going to say it well.
I go up to the officials and the first thing I say is, I want my money.
As you make your way to the official, you can see he is now surrounded by guards. As this was a very predictable outcome.
Was the official the person who was taking bets?
Yes. Now you can see there are 8 men, heavily armored and look like they're in stifling heat, being heavily laden in this weather. Each one has an emblem on their chest plate and on their shield of a fist alight with flames.
Do they look scared of me as I walk up?
No, they do not.
No.
As Flynn is walking up in a huff, one of the guards steps forwards to try to head you off and says, firmly while planting his shield against Flynn, not knocking you back, but like just trying to stop you advancing. Be one to think twice before you take a tone like that.
Can I just grab his shield and bend it in half?
Okay, so as you are walking up towards this man, first can I get an athletics check from you as you try to rend the shield off of him? You're no longer giant might sized.
I made a point to be big when I walked over there.
So you're using another giant's might?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, cool.
Be down to 2.
Cool. Then can I get your athletics check? He's going to have advantage because the thing is, strapped to his arm. That is going to be a plus. Still not enough as he screams in pain as you pull the shield away. His arm goes back into a horrible position. And then finally there's a crack as you basically snap the wrist as the grip slides off of his arm.
And I just bend it in half and throw it behind me. Watch your tone, little man.
It's a little bit bent. It's not all the way bent. That is a truly massive amount of force that you would need to exert to bend it in half, but you do give it a little bit of a bend.
I risk my life. Sorry.
No. As you do so, the other guards come moving forwards and level spears at you as they form a rudimentary shield wall. There's shouts and shock from other people as this is happening, as this has escalated bizarrely.
This is how you treat the savior. I stopped 2 of those fucking things from attacking any more people, and then you point your shield and spears at me?
They continue shouting, and the crowd is starting to gather around this scene in shock because they didn't stop you. They stopped Karen over here from taking an attitude, and you stepped in and made it an offensive. Now they have their shields raised and their spears leveled, and they shout, "Back up at once in the name of the Flaming Fist!"
Flaming Fist. Go ahead, Captain. Say what you want.
Flynn like points his finger right at the official, and I say, you know what? What's suspicious about this is that you took people's bets, and then suddenly there's a problem, and now you're canceling all bets until this whole thing's been figured out, and you're the deciding factor. You need to give everybody. I'm going to use persuasion on this. I'm going to persuade him and say, you really need to give back everybody's bets at the very least, and then do your investigation. But you owe people here money. There was one of the animals did finish the race. So I'll use persuasion, I guess. And I'll use that bardic inspiration as a way. So 28 plus, what's your bardic, a d10?
Indeed.
28 plus 9. So 37.
37.
Oh my. That's pretty persuasive.
As Flynn is shouting all of this from behind the wall of armored guards that are keeping you away from the merchant, putting on quite the scene, you do get a few people nodding and shouting like, "Yes, yes, this is not right." The merchant the one who is taking the bets, the official, looks around a little bit nervous as he can sense a shift in the attitudes here. And after a few moments of pondering, he holds up his hands. He's like, all right. Let's take a moment. We don't need to escalate this. But the guards are still locking shields and making it clear that they're not going to back down. The official then says, very well, very, very well. It is clear from early reports that somebody was tampering with the race. Magic was used. We are trying to gather witnesses and determine it. However, these effects were clearly targeted towards 3 Top and Blue Streak. Therefore, anyone who placed a bet for those 2 can have their money back while we try to get to the bottom of this.
You son of a
bitch. Oh my.
Oh yeah, sure. Flynn says, with the crowd around him, he says, yeah, of course, yeah. The two mysteriously had magic used against them, so a third are gonna win. That sounds real convenient from the guy who's surrounded by armed bodyguards. You owe everybody their money back.
Anyone who placed a bet on the cow will have their money returned once we get to the bottom of who was trying to manipulate the cow to win.
How far is he from us? What, you say, 10 feet?
Yeah, about 10 feet.
I'm going to rage.
And I will step back.
Whoa.
And I'm going to use my tail to grapple him and bring him to me and be like, you will give me my money back.
I'm nowhere near this, right?
It's up to you, Gilgamesh. You could have our back or be at church.
Well, I'm not at the temple anymore. I know that, but I don't know where we're at. Am I anywhere near this conversation, or?
Yeah, you're somewhere near there.
Okay, so I'm gonna put my hand on my brain. He's like, calm down. are times for aggression and times for diplomacy. This is a time for diplomacy.
I hear what you're saying. I risked my life to save as many as I could, and I'm rewarded with nothing.
Is there any?
Look, I understand that you're not happy with this outcome, but if you pursue this path, there will not be a good end for any you or our friends. You need to calm down, and we need to pursue other avenues.
While this is happening, the grapple would have happened first. Can I get an athletics check from? Well, the merchant can't beat that even with cover, because you're attacking through another enemy.
Bramnir's so happy.
I saw that. I was like, oh man.
As soon as that takes place, though, all 8 are going to throw themselves at Bramnir. At Brock.
Can I, if Brock pulled the guy through, right, and I'm next to him, can I use sleight of hand to steal the money pouch from that guy while everybody's focused on Brock? Do I get advantage on sleight of hand?
There's still a wall of soldiers in between you and the merchant. His tail went over the soldiers and grabbed him, but you're not able to like reel him in. That's not a feature for the tail. So he's just holding him in place, and the soldiers are throwing themselves at more or less you two, but they're still in between you and the merchant. They're not going to let you get to him.
Brock, release the merchant.
Don't release the merchant, Brock.
As soon as he gives me my money back.
Yeah, damn straight.
I will release. I'm trying to be reasonable here. He's the one stealing.
Is that what's happening? Brock, if you choose to double down on this, we are going to be going to combat.
What?
Double.
Is there a bird like above them, or any birds above them? Any birds nearby? I have a thing that might help.
Not particularly close. There was a great big ruckus recently that might have driven them away.
Any vaguely wild-looking animal of any sort, or what about one of the animals that was being ridden? Are they like the
yes.
champion? Are they nearby?
The cow is nearby.
Okay. How near is he? Like within feet? Within like 10, 50, 30 feet, something like that?
30 feet.
30 feet, okay. How am I within? Because I'm not too far away. Am I 60? Can I get within 60 feet? Well, am I within 60 feet, or am I further? Do you think? I wasn't approaching the guys. I wasn't with them.
I think you're within 60 feet.
Right. Can I try and polymorph that dinosaur thing into a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
That was not what I expected you to finish that sentence.
Distract them. Then there's a legitimate threat. This elephant guy is going to be a much smaller problem than a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, but it's going to think like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's not going to think like...
Sure, it'll murder innocent people, whatever. We've already done that today. Is that our line now?
So now your idea here is to hold on.
Add a character.
Focus on the T-Rex. I'm talking over the elephant. Player to player here.
Yeah.
We got you. Okay. There's two. You want to just release a Tyrannosaurus Rex into this casualty event?
Sure.
I love it.
Like, I'm gonna drop it before it kills anyone. I'm just gonna do it long enough that like their focus is like, oh shit, there's a dinosaur that's gonna murder everyone instead of this elephant guy who's just a weirdo.
Fuck it, let's go.
Like I'm gonna drop it.
No, whatever. Let's see how it plays out.
It will act like a cow. It won't act like a dinosaur. It will just be like a cow. Hopefully, it won't even attack anyone. Might not even. We'll see if it fails anyway.
Oh my god, this is just. Now I know how Dr. Malcolm
You're gonna
feels in
get him away.
Jurassic Park. I'm
God.
like, this is just irresponsibility at its best, but go for it. Yeah.
Hey, think outside the box. Where is it? I want to target it.
I mean, out of character, maybe Cithril could have compelled the cow to come and like nuzzle up against the mayor or whoever this guy is, and maybe we can pin the crime on him. But yeah, sure, let's release like a Tyrannosaurus Rex on the marketplace.
Hey. I'm not gonna let it murder anyone. Maybe a couple people, it's fine.
I mean, how many people died? Like 21? It's not even a round number.
I just have to not beat. I just have to kill less people
22.
than 21 around.
22, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What's
I kill 21
25 or 30? Who cares, right?
If anyone has a better idea.
No, because like, there's no way Flynn can ever be the bad guy after today. So please.
Well, I'm glad to be the standard setter.
Replacement.
I never thought the day would ever fucking come that I could say that in this group.
Is that this? Is this this? No, what's that? I don't know.
I'm so proud of you guys. You guys stepped up your game big time since Strahd.
Well, what were we meant to do? Elephant Boy's gone off against the entire armed platoon.
Elephant Boy.
I mean, all Captain has to do is tell me to stop, and I will.
I didn't realize when I joined you guys that this was a competition of who could be the most ruthless. I guess I'll have to.
The T-Rex isn't going to kill anyone. It's
We need to change the name of this stream to just Murder Hobos, because that's what we are.
Oh, clearly, that's fine.
Worst case scenario.
Oh my.
All right, you heard him. You heard him, Corin. One Tyrannosaurus Rex, please.
Well, he might win the save, and it might be irrelevant.
Well, we're going to combat first also. My God.
Oh my God.
Gilgamesh, we need you. We need a moral compass. Like, please don't change. We need this dynamic in our group. And honestly, Cithril just didn't think that shit through. I was going to compulse them to go in the opposite direction, but then Corin placed a wall-to-wall people, and so that was just opportunity and knocking.
I do apologize that my realism got in the way of your shenanigans.
Damn realism. Good DMing. What the hell? Now I'm a murderer.
That's not exactly true. You're a mass murderer.
Yeah.
A murderer is a subset of mass murder.
Yeah.
You did just send them into the masses in a pretty literal sense. Yeah. All right, Brock, you are first as you have successfully snag out. That is, you have grappled the merchant.
I'm gonna try to grapple this guy and kind of just have them both in my hand in my rage.
Okay. Can I get another athletics check from you then?
20. It's pretty pathetic.
You said it was this one here you're going for next?
Yeah.
All right. He's going to make his skill check as well. Oh my God. I'm terrified.
Well, let's try it again, I guess.
Oh, 19. He shouldn't have had advantage. That was just a double roll. Sorry. You have reached out and grabbed another one as he grunts in surprise as you grab him.
I'm gonna action surge and I'm gonna grab this one with my trunk.
Yeah, I remember talking about the tail. I don't remember confirming that the trunk could grapple as well.
Well, the trunk actually, as rules is written, it can grapple.
Yeah.
If they can pick up a peanut, they can grab a guard.
That's stereotyping. Elephants. You're stereotyping elephants. I'll die on this hill.
Is that a stereotype?
Did he
I
pass?
pick up peanuts. Is that a stereotype? I don't.
One more check.
Brock, in this form, what's your actual size category?
Large.
Okay, that's
Yep. 24.
Well, he passed. Let's try it again.
And grappled.
And I'm just going to say to the merchant, I'm not trying to hurt you. I just want what's mine.
You are convincing absolutely nobody.
I haven't attacked anyone. I'm just trying to hold them out of my way so I can talk to him.
You broke a guy's wrist, wrenching his shield away and bending it to be intimidating for doing nothing more than stopping one guy from getting up into his face and screaming at him. There's no way you're going to spin this otherwise.
Yeah.
It's an episode.
Like I said, you've convinced nobody, as this veteran here is going to run over, and frankly, he's going to associate Flynn with this, and he is going to throw himself at Flynn.
Why? All I did was yell. I'm just some guy in the crowd.
As he's running past you, he says, "Stay out of this." And then it's up to you. And then you can get arrested if you get involved. And is going to swing at Brock once, twice, and then a third with his short sword.
I like these dice, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And one of the veterans who is grappled is also going to be hacking. Once, twice, and 3 times. Oh, by the way, Brock, you had a shield equipped. All right.
Yeah, my tail, my trunk, and my free hand.
Yeah. So it's 3 grapples, not 4?
If I didn't have my shield, I could do 4, but you have to have a free hand to grapple.
I like it. Is it time for Fireball?
No, it's time for one of them to be hacking at the trunk of the Luxodon as he's going to be swinging at that. At the tail. Swinging at the tail. Striking it once and twice and lopping off the tail as it is severed halfway through. And the merchant is ungrappled. And then third swing, swinging at Brock himself with his longsword. Another veteran is diving into it as this is seen. They are taking this all the way as they curse, and this one actually spits at you and shouts out, "You're gonna pay for this, freak!"
So my tail's lopped off, but I still have it, right?
No, your tail's gone.
I didn't know if it was like a nub.
You're not going to hit somebody with a nub.
Nub them.
The knight here heaves his greatsword and is going to come crashing down twice on Brock. We're about halfway through as this one reaches out at Flynn and tries to push Flynn away. Flynn, are you going to be resisting this?
I'm gonna try and get away from this guy.
So you're okay with him pushing you out of the way?
Yeah, push me out of the way.
He gives you one shove, yanks you back, and takes place. That was his first attack, and then comes forward and is going to swing one more time. And heaves his great sword at you.
At me?
No, at Brock.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Gilgamesh, what are you doing as all of this is taking place?
Brock, you need to stand down. This is not the way to handle the situation. Will you stand down?
Bet I would if certain conditions were met.
They're not going to be met if you continue this fight. End the fight, and we can talk about this diplomatically. If you continue to fight, it's not going to go well for anyone involved.
So you're saying that as the next knight gets in and he grunts and he shouts out as he's laughing and kind of kicks the severed half of your tail and strikes at you twice more. And then Flynn, they're all kind of looking at you, daring you to get involved.
Flynn like just puts his hands up and he's like, no, this is not what I wanted. And I'm gonna again try to persuade the head guy with the money. I'm gonna just say, look at the big guy. You're angering people. Everybody just wants their money back. Like, give everybody their money back and then investigate this and nullify all the bets. Like, nobody has to get hurt. This is getting violent, man. You're the only one that can stop this. So there's my persuasion roll.
You're private rolling also, just so you know.
Well, that was a 30.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. It was a 30.
Yeah.
That's huge.
How do I stop private rolling? That was weird.
In the bottom right corner where it shows your name and then where you can type a message,
okay.
There's a little drop down.
My bad. There we go. I set it to public.
The merchant seems like he doesn't want to keep fighting, but he shouts out, "Then tell your brute to cease! I am not the source of this problem. If he stands down, we will, and we can get to the bottom of this in a civilized and legal manner."
I like look at Brock and I'm like giving him like the unspoken, dude, come on, like we can still get our money back. Just don't blow this. And I guess I'll end my turn there.
Bramnir, are you going for the T-Rex?
Nope. No. I'm just gonna watch. Not doing it.
The merchant looks at Brock and says, "So, what of it? And I am not paying anything until we have come to the bottom of this mystery."
Are we surrounded by people now, like watching this?
People are starting to gather around, yeah.
I'm just gonna yell out, like, look how they treat the person who saved you and your kids. They did nothing while I stopped these dinosaurs, and yet I'm the enemy. I'm trying to initiate a riot.
Let's see how the sense is. They did also watch you attack that guard, so it's very half-half. They're waiting to see which way it breaks. Cithril.
Cithril is invisible.
Cithril doing anything?
Cithril will bardically inspire Gilgamesh.
Okay.
Oh.
Giving some bardic on Gilgamesh there. The next knight holds his action waiting to see what Brock does next. And Brock.
I'm gonna bonus action just second wind. And I'm gonna throw these two little guys down and look at the merchant menacingly. He's like, "When do I get my money?"
The merchant raises his hands and he says, "The money will be held until this has been solved. We're not going to let this fall into anarchy because someone attempted to cheat you, each and every one of you. How many of you here placed a bet for Blue Streak or for Three Top? Would you have been happy to have your money taken from you by some cheater out there, to be robbed by this? I am trying to bring order to this, to protect your money."
What would you rather protect, the money or the people? Because I chose the people.
It seems you're choosing money too, and these are people as well that you are attacking.
Yeah, but you're the only one here that's gaining the money. Like, all of us are basically screwed. Like, you're telling us that the race was rigged and somebody tried to cheat, but, who's going to benefit the most right now? You're the one with all the money, aren't you? We're the ones who are out of the money. You've got a big old sack of gold right there, and you're telling everybody, surrounded by hostile soldiers, I might add, that you're keeping the money until they figure it out.
You hear a few people pipe up, "No, I saw someone! There was some white, pale creature underneath the dinosaurs, right when they started to break off, and then disappeared." It's true, the merchant speaks.
Yeah, but who's benefiting here? So, like, let's say there was somebody in there, somebody did rig this thing. Who's gonna make all the money here right now? The guy over there with all the money. We're the ones getting screwed here. So maybe he rigged it.
You heard them say he was going to return it once it was solved. I don't see what he is supposed to gain.
Okay, so you give me 100 gold right now, and I'll return it when I set some arbitrary time that I decide when something's solved. Yeah, sure. Okay, that works. If you're dumb enough to do that and allow him to just take his word for it, then you're dumb enough to do it for me and give me 100 gold until, I don't know, the moon rises in the sky purple.
So you are outsiders coming here and calling us stupid because we choose civility?
Oh, wow, now you're going to gatekeep this whole town and try to say we're outsiders being racist? What's next? You don't like big elephant people and you don't like half elves? Oh, we're outsiders now? Yeah, great. Way to support your tourism industry. Wait till we leave and go back home and tell everybody that this town's a bunch of racists who just take your money when you try to bet. You know what happens then? Your whole gambling system on this whole island collapses. Nobody wants to come and sail here and gamble because you're going to take their money. Yeah, we're outsiders. Flynn, you're a racist.
Enough! Flynn, you're not helping.
You are actually having people boo at you now and hurl some fruits and vegetables at Flynn for speaking.
Flynn, as I told Brock.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were at church.
There is time for hostility, and that includes hostile words, and there's time for diplomacy. This is a time for diplomacy, of which you seem to know little.
I'm sorry. How much did you have bet on the race?
I didn't bet anything.
Oh, so you didn't bet anything, but you want to be involved here. Okay.
I want to try to save our skins, and apparently you would rather sacrifice them for a few gold coins.
I'm not the one attacking everybody. He is. I'm trying to negotiate with this guy.
You're encouraging Brock to be, shall we say, aggressive in his tactics. Believe me, I see the way that you manipulate the situations, Flynn. I am not some, as you say, church boy. I have traveled these lands, and I know how things work here and abroad.
The guards are starting to come in and push through and try to separate you all, as the merchant holds up his hands and he says, "Now, will you stand down or not?"
I wish to speak to someone above you. Your manager, if you would.
Brock, you need to relax. You need to chill.
I am. I'm not grappling anybody anymore. I'm here to talk. Just not to him.
He intends to investigate the race. No amount of speaking above him is going to expedite that investigation. If you intend to pursue, even speaking to his manager, you're going to cause more problems than we want to face. And hopefully he's taking the hints that I'm trying to lay down.
The merchant looks defiant and he says, "You wish to speak with the merchant prince? Very well," he says as he sneers.
Here we go.
How visible is the money on the merchant? Out of curiosity.
He's got a chest next to him that he has 1 foot on right now.
1 foot on it.
It was a pretty hefty amount of gold that was bet. I mean, you guys alone bet, I don't know, like 80 pounds worth of gold. So, I mean, all in all, that was probably 300 pounds worth of gold bet.
Okay, cool, Karen.
Oh boy. I shall arrange for you to speak with Ifan Tauroa. However, the Flaming Fist is also the guards of Port Nyanzaru. You... What was that?
Nothing.
You will have to be held accountable to them as well for the assault, while we also look into the investigation of tampering and magic upon the race. And let there be no misunderstandings, he says, as he looks around trying to engage back with the crowd. Any found responsible will be taken to the executioner's run. There's some gasps and cheers from that statement.
I take an action to shape change.
So visible.
I know.
This is when that ends.
Well, it's for now.
Yeah, it ends in an hour when shape change is an innate ability.
Cool.
Is that okay? Is that a possibility?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
I turn into Brandir's twin.
One of the knights comes forwards and looks at Brock with contempt written all over his face, and he says, "Will you submit yourselves to be detained while we speak with a magistrate?"
No. I'll go wait at the inn. That's as much as you're getting out of me.
He looks towards the others, and his comrade that has the broken wrist. "Which inn will you be staying at?"
I don't remember the name. Do you, Flynn? Oh, I was kicked out of it. I was staying at Bremner's
you
Inn.
didn't have any.
Wow!
I'm not staying with you.
You were kicked out of an inn. That is a shocker.
I didn't write it down.
You want me to break your wrist too?
The inn had a weird name. It was like like explosive or something. It was.
It was the thundering lizard, and
yeah, thundering.
Did you just threaten the captain of the Flaming Fists here?
God.
I will go to the lizard and wait patiently getting drunk, but I do warn you, I'm less likely to comply if I'm drunk.
Wasn't it the Thundering Dragon? That's what I have written down.
I think
No,
lizard,
it's the
lizard,
thundering. It's the thundering lizard.
Is it? Okay.
Thundering Dragon is the franchise back in Waterdeep.
Ah, gotcha.
That's a joke, but
Yeah.
that sarcasm is bad.
Very well. We will come to speak with you at the Thundering Lizard with your comrades. To be clear, though, if this one is for any reason fled when we come for him, he holds a finger out and he kind of jabs it over into Flynn's chest real quick as he comes over. We are holding the rest of you responsible.
Why would I flee you? I'm not scared of you.
He shrugs and he says, "Then we will see you. Come on, let's get out of here." And they...
I'm keeping this, and I grab the shield that I bent.
He just kind of chuckles and he says, "Go ahead. We'll add it to the list of charges against you."
My fucking God.
And as they go away helping carry the chest, the scene kind of breaks up as now it's just first responders dealing with the wounded and the dead, dragging them away. You do notice a different couple of flaming fists going through the crowd, appearing to question people.
Everyone, come gather. This is insane.
And with that, I think if everyone's okay, we can take a 5-minute comfort break and come back.
Please.
Oh my goodness.
I still want to know what happened with Gilgamesh in the church. Also, yeah, totally down for a quick break. And I'm still waiting for us to have the opportunity to have a reason to open this little bottle of Fireball.
Well, there's a handy clustered group of flaming fists if you just want to fling a fireball at them.
I'm so tempted.
Their name is asking for it.
I have this little thing. I'll drink with you.
Ooh.
Right. We will resume with Gilgamesh's interaction in about 5.
Fantastic. Little
Sounds
maker's
good.
mark. Little maker's mark, a little meat, a little fireball.
I mean, that's really what we should do as a group is everybody buys a bunch of like small little bottles of Fireball, and every time it's cast when we play, we all have to do a shot.
Bruce was asking something.
If you fail to save, you gotta take the shot.
Oh man. That could make for some interesting gameplay.
That was on the Twitch.
Oh man. Tell me about it. I mean,
Jesus.
these guys know from Friday game. Nix and
I wasn't there. I heard about it though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but we don't need to talk about it on live stream. It's okay. But I got a quick question. Gilgamesh, you're a fighter?
He's on mute. Where he is.
Oh, he's on mute. Who rages?
Brock. Brock is part barbarian.
Brock is part barbarian. Yeah.
Okay. And Gilgamesh?
Yeah, but Gilgamesh does not rage. He's straight fighter at this point.
Straight fighter.
And with no intention of taking barbarian.
Understood. We got Myrtle here in the chat hanging out with us, and I was just responding, what's the party composition? I said Bard, Rogue, Monk Barb, Wizard Fighter. So, thanks for tuning in, Myrtle. How's your day going? I'm just loitering. If you guys are taking a break, that's totally cool.
I'm so pumped I grappled that damn dinosaur.
I really wanted you guys to spawn in the fucking T-Rex, and then Brock gets to go all ham on those guys, and I would have figured out a way to steal the chest and all the hubbub.
I was literally just going to stop attacking them and go, like, grapple the T-Rex. I thought it'd be cool. Like a squirrel moment. T-Rex? Oh, let me go hold him down real quick.
That T-Rex would have killed you. You took
What
a lot
happened
of
to
damage.
the T-Rex? Did that creature save? I was looking at.
No, we chose diplomacy.
Just kidding.
Hey,
oh man.
You told me to stop attacking to calm down.
When I tell you to stop, I mean keep going. Jesus, come on, man.
Can't you read Flynn's nuances?
Can't you? Don't you get it? Why would I want you to stop? Crush their heads.
That guy disrespected you, and I broke his wrist and bent his shield for you.
Yeah, why didn't you kill him for me, huh?
Dude,
that wasn't my order.
Brandir and Flynn are terrible influences, and I just committed mass murder. And you guys, I still think are terrible influences.
Yeah, apparently that's my fault because I manipulated you into committing mass murder. I don't see it. I'm actually the best fucking person here because I haven't threatened or fought somebody for no reason yet in this campaign, and I'm taking all the heat.
Brock is mad. He risked his life getting in front of those damn dinosaurs. Now he's getting robbed.
What you've done is pick two fights. You picked one with the cleric at the Dragon Inn and got you and our other party member booted out, so you had to sleep on the street. And then today here, you broke some guy's wrist and started a fight with all the guards. That's what you've done.
My thing is that I do that shit, and no one's scared of me.
If you're just tuning in, we're on like a 5-minute break. We're just shooting the shit, and I'm kind of curious for the folks that are still hanging around and just chatting as I hear is the term on Twitch. Anybody here ever play in a one shot? And what was the general sense, impression, or theme? I say that because Myrtle is preparing for a one shot for the night. So I played in a one shot that was lizard themed, and it had all of the previous characters from every campaign, every one shot that this DM ever ran there on the screen as dead bodies. It was like the killing floor, and so we could see all who came before us.
That's what I'm naming this episode on YouTube when it gets posted, is the killing floor, starring fucking Sithril. Who's trying to turn this campaign into a one-shot by becoming a mass murderer on day 4.
We're having a lot of competition of who's the worst.
That's what I'm saying. I am literally the best in terms of morality in this entire group. I haven't done anything. Is fine.
So I sent a Velociraptor into a shoulder-to-shoulder crowd of people. And so what if I sent another
Triceratops.
The Triceratops to
running full speed into
You should really go to the funeral of these people and say all this stuff. Oh well.
There's not going to be a funeral. They're cleaning half of these people up with buckets.
Oh my god. So this whole session could be run as a one shot. I could see this being a one shot. The Dino races. Looks like Rolling Warlock joined us here today, and he said that he's run some one shots to introduce new people to D&D, and I think that's one of the best ways to get into the game, because you get this nice storyline from start to finish in a single session.
Could you imagine, like hypothetically speaking, if we had like a player that was completely new to D&D join like today's session, what kind of monster they would turn out to be like a year from now? Because like this is their first impression of D&D, is somebody committing like a mass murder and then fighting the guards. I feel like after 2 years they'd be like, oh, we would literally just make a murder hobo. Like anybody that comes close enough to touch, we turn them into a murder hobo.
So here's your pre-made character sheet. Your character's name is Simon.
Simon the Pieman.
Yeah.
Actually, Central is more of a murder hobo than Simon.
Simon's not even a murder hobo. Neither is Flynn. No, they've never done anything like that. Flynn kind of is a murder hobo. He's kind of a murder hobo.
Dude, do you remember Cithril and Flynn in Dungeon of the Demand Mage down at the sex dungeon of the Drow?
Yeah, okay, that was a little murder hobo-y. I get it.
Oh no, wait, that was Simon because he had he had his slide flute because
Yes.
we dropped
Yeah, that was
dropped
Simon
a
for sure.
living Drow into a barrel full of liquid and dipped him in, and then took that Drow out and asked him questions, and then dipped him back into the water. And each time that he went back down into the water, you went.
It was like
"Ooh."
base level torture. It wasn't even any advanced torture techniques. It was
Waterboarding?
like, no, that's advanced water technique. We were just like basically kind of drowning him for information. And then we did drown him. But it started off as just basic, yeah. It wasn't there.
So
was
Gilgamesh.
there was no advanced interrogation techniques at all.
What did you learn at that temple there? I
I
just don't want to
did-
talk about torture anymore.
Yeah, let's find out what happened at church.
Did my camera ever get added to the stream?
Oh, I don't even know why it went away in the first place. Let me fix that.
I messaged you like 4 times.
Yeah, but I can't answer messages.
Well, that's true. Don't you have a secondary device?
Oh, I have my phone. I could be checking messages on the phone. It's weird. I don't know where your camera even went.
Oh man, just to throw out here, if you are just tuning in, thank you so much for stopping by. If you drop a follow, you will help us get closer to becoming affiliates, and we greatly appreciate you hanging out. We are currently playing Tomb of Annihilation, and talked our way out of a pretty intense scenario with the guy who has our money, and we want our money for our boat.
You're failing with Storytime. There's no reason to expect the boats more than a few hundred gold anyway, which we all definitely have.
We had participated
Totally
in
irrelevant.
bets on a dinosaur race here in the land of Jolt. Flynn is our rogue captain of a ship, and we took his ship to get to Jolt from Waterdeep.
Also, he's the nicest, apparently. I want to add that.
Gilgamesh is the nicest.
Oh, okay.
Gilgamesh takes that.
I'd have to agree there.
Love to hear other folks' stories. You can also join our Discord server. You can hang out. Just thanks for being here. We left off by concluding the conversation with a merchant just moments ago, 5 minutes or so. And we assured that merchant that we would be at the inn of the Thundering Lizard in Chult, should they like to converse with us further. So we're back from commercial break. I don't know what I'm doing.
Transition.
You're good at it though.
You're doing
Gilgamesh,
great.
what did you learn at the temple?
Oh, that's right. And Gilgamesh had visited the temple of Savras.
Our wipe to the temple.
Yep.
Gilgamesh, as you had made your way down towards the temple, you found quite the fine-looking place. This was of beautiful, ornate construction, somewhat unlike other architecture here within Chult. It is of a more traditional, almost cathedral-esque styling as the doors part open, and you see several people in pews that seem to be making supplications to Savras in one form or another. But you do see a priest at the front burning incense.
Okay. I'll approach the front humbly. You know, I'm not going to just like barge up, but humbly, and I'll wait for him to notice me. Like I'm not going to interrupt his supplications. So I'll wait patiently within a respectable space away from him as he's performing his duties.
After a couple of moments, he notices you waiting awkward there and gives you a slight nod and bow and gestures for you to come closer.
Good priest, my name is Gilgamesh. A young man by the name of Zanti came to us and indicated that the knower of things had messages for my companions and I, that there were purposes that he had seen of our group, and specifically one that walks with us. Can you help with these visions and give us more details and direction?
This older man, face lined and leathery looking, with gray black hair in ring patches as he's mostly bald, holding incense in one hand, a censer of incense. I know indeed of what you speak. Might I ask why the diviner of your party is not with you?
They fear the influence of the divine, apparently. They did not wish to come into the sacred halls. I, however, have traveled and found great wisdom amongst those who serve many gods and find their input and very helpful in many cases. So I wanted to hear what your God had to say.
Savras speaks much to those who hear and allows you to see more for yourself. I see an important and great purpose wrapped amongst you. However, Savras will not look kindly upon one who uses their domain in such a sullied fashion. He will not have his domain twisted and abused in that way for someone who walks in the darkness. Zavres wishes to warn of further consequence if he cannot make resolve within himself. Beyond that, though, I wish to offer my own limited help that I can without defying Zavres. I do not know the quest before you, but I would hope to speak to the rest of you if you will hear it.
Well, I guess the first thing I would ask is if Salvadus wishes my companion to not walk in darkness, as you say, and seek resolution, is there a way for him to change the path that he is on? A leopard cannot change his spots, so to speak, and my companion is what he is. He cannot change that unless the knower of things knows of something that we mortals are unaware of.
I would have to speak with your comrade to know more about the proper path for him.
See, that's his fear. His fear is that if he comes into this temple, those of those servants of the divine generally attempt to destroy him because of what he is. And so he feels unsafe when he comes into those places dedicated to the divine. I would be willing to vouch for you if you would guarantee his safety well in these halls.
He will not be assaulted if he comes here.
I will speak to him. I cannot guarantee his decision, but I will speak to him.
He gives a slight nod and says, and I will do all I can to help with Savros.
Thank you. Now, as to our mission, there is a curse on the land. Perhaps you are aware of it. As the servant of the knower of things, I would be very surprised if you didn't. Those who, through their adventures or other paths of their lives, have been brought back to life by various magics, are feeling their life force drawn back away from them. And those magics that would normally return a person from death back to the material plane are no longer working. Do you know of this curse and how we may overcome it? We've been directed to the Red Wizards of Thay, that they may be a source of this curse. But your man Zanti said that we should speak with you before we pursue this path.
You are trying to imply that this affliction of which you speak is originating from here?
The materials that we have gathered from the people that have placed us on this path, and the other research that we have acquired, we know it originates from this island. Yes.
I cannot come to a resolution with that. We have seen some signs of this affliction of which you speak, but as I understand it, it is all throughout Toril. It is not limited only to here.
Correct. It is a pandemic throughout the land, yes. But its origin, as far as we've been able to determine, sprouts from this isle.
He has a face of skepticism at this, but he's listening and he says, I invite you and your friends to come and provide what proof you have of this.
Very well. Again, I cannot promise what my friends will do. Again, I understand the benefit of hearing
I
what
love how he's distancing himself from the actions of his friends, only to come back and find that, they massacred a whole market and are waging war with the Flaming Fist.
Oh yeah, this is occurring at the same time that the city
Proof.
is in Flynn's word under a 9/11 event.
Yeah, point of fact, we did not murder everybody. Solly did. So
I got a crick in my neck. There's the weight on that on my shoulders. Ugh.
But rest assured that regardless of my companion's decision, I will return with what materials I have to further discuss what we know with you, to try to get more details as to where to go to relieve this curse.
Very well. I look forward to speaking with you more, and you have my assurance that your comrade will not be harmed.
Thank you. Your word means much to me.
And unless there's anything else, he seems to be completed as he starts to walk around the others, waving around his censer of incense.
Yep. At that point, Gilgamesh will briefly take a knee before the altar and then rise and exit the sanctuary and go to find his companions, only to discover the hellish landscape of bodies and injured and bloody remains scattered throughout the streets of this poor, stricken town. And then to try to talk down Brock as he almost starts another war in the midst of the streets.
This is turning into a running theme really fast. So bouncing back to this, the flaming fists have dispersed. A few of them are questioning the civilians as to what they saw take place and if they could identify. Brock has returned to his regular size.
If I may interject, from the start of this session, the theme has been running. The running theme is like the subtext of this particular session. When you race dinosaurs, it's gonna get dangerous.
It will get more dangerous when you throw a wall of force in front of said dinosaurs.
That was the least evil thing that happened all game.
Okay,
that was last week.
That was just like spitefully evil,
Sure.
That was
just a bit
mischievous
jerky.
evil.
That was
just
a mild
like
prank.
That was more than a mild prank. Somebody easily could have died.
Took
from
any
that kind
HP
of collision.
damage? Well, they didn't.
I don't know. So I keep saving people from dinosaurs. Caught the one guy. Caught the dinosaurs themselves.
Quick, let's
it's a thankless
find
job.
an alley. I need to cast a spell or two.
Fireball.
Come on. No. Gosh. I wish I could drink.
I'm not going to save this little bottle of Fireball until next week. That's not going to happen.
Do it at the fountain.
Yeah. Somehow you have like the two most restrained sessions in our history right when you're expecting a fireball.
Restrained?
Yeah,
we murdered 22 civilians.
Yeah, I wouldn't call the deaths of 22 innocents restrained.
By your standards, that's what I'm going with.
Wasn't my fault either.
We barely killed any civilians.
No, we haven't. We haven't at all. Sith World did.
Like we did.
Yeah.
Start a fight.
And
vampire ones.
We don't know that happened. We were far
Regardless.
away.
Yeah.
Quick, let's find somewhere quiet.
Somewhere quiet. Okay.
Anywhere, just briefly. Let's go find an alley or something. Is there somewhere nearby we can go that's maybe a bit of a way?
Well,
I gotta go back
Brock
to
has been going on.
Brock has to be at the dancing lizard.
Do I have to, or is it just kind of a suggestion?
We don't plan to live here. Why do we care if we have a criminal record? Like what?
I mean, you were basically released on your own recognizance, so...
We just go to the place where the red wizards are that we found out in the first night we were here.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't think we're going to get anything better than these.
I disagree, but it's...
Regardless, 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, somewhere quiet. If we can find 10 minutes, I can cast the telepathy spell.
Yeah, we're going,
and then we can all have these conversations in our head instead of just out loud.
We'll go to where me and Brimir slept for the night, where the hut was.
Well, I wouldn't mind walking past the
it's
magic
middle
shop.
of the day, so are you going to like just set up camp in the middle of the street in the middle of the day?
I think he was referring to a private space.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, spell.
Got it.
Yeah. Where we were before, and just spend 10 minutes so we can talk in our heads at least instead of this out loud. Oh, you guys can talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing this. You don't need to be quiet.
I like when Bramnir casts spells. He always goes.
Well, that's how arcane people do it. I don't know how you bards do it. Talk.
We play aggressive jazz.
Yeah, bards gonna go. Boo!
You can play some light jazz to encourage me if you wish. It's fine.
Nora Jones is
With a
canon.
bit of a beat. Maybe some swing.
Yeah, that's that's the music I imagine that goes on in the background when magic users are doing their stuff. It's like a really bad magician's close-up magic soundtrack. Fireball.
I don't know.
We will now be telepathically bound, and we can talk to each other from all distances. And
with like scat verbal components.
Yeah, exactly. That's my magic user. That's my next character right there.
So just avoid saying anything incriminating out loud. I say in our heads.
And then in our heads, I go shikada-pa, shikada-pa-pa-pa-pa.
Briefly on that note, Flynn, I had the idea of a caster who is like a mumble rapper.
Oh no.
Like getting spells off quick, but because he's mumbling, he's constantly goofing the verbal components and casting the wrong spell.
Yes.
Or like firing.
Or I feel like if somebody has to hear the spell being cast, like they can't hear it because he's mumbling. You know, so like that distance should be cut.
Yes, laughter.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
I would like it even more to hear a good voice actor do mumble rap, because mumble rap is actually difficult to execute. Not, by mumble rappers, I assume, but like, has anybody here actively tried to mumble rap?
Gilgamesh, did you find anything interesting at the church?
Thank you for redirecting.
Yes.
The mumble rappers.
No, I didn't see any mumble rappers. They were all wrapping things with brown paper. Not mumbles.
Oh, I died.
I died inside.
No, just died.
So you were headed over to go into the tiny hut to set up a telepathy spell. Did I have that right?
Yes. Hopefully, yes. If possible, we can skip through it relatively quickly.
So we cast the telepathy spell. So in the chapel, I spoke with the priest there. First and foremost, Baromir, he has assured me that, number one, where's my session notes? There it is. Silverus is not seeking your death. All right. The path that he's offering you is not your mortal death. Well, mortal death. Your elimination from the material plane. Okay. So if you return with me to the sanctuary and speak with him, he would like to work with you. Sorry, my music just got really loud, so I'm turning it down. That was weird. So if you return with me, he, number one, assures your safety while you're there with me in the sanctuary. But number two, will work with Silverus to discover a path for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me because it's between you and Silverus. But he says that, number one, Silverus will not continue to allow you to use the divination domain without consequences in your current state. So as long as you continue to walk in this darkness, there's going to be consequences for you to continue to be a diviner. But number two, he does want to work with you to change that so that you can move forward. But you need to work with him personally. He's not going. So, which means you coming with me back to the sanctuary. So, like I said, moving immediately forward to the Red Wizards of Red Thay, I get why you guys want to do it, but I think we take a pause and move and get all the information we can here first. Secondly, there are directions that this the the knower of things has to discuss with us, but again, each of us has to be there. He won't work with us. Like he won't tell me anything about Flynn. Flynn would need to be there to work to learn from Silverus. I asked specifically about this curse. He said he was surprised that we thought that the curse was originating from this island. He was more thinking that the curse was a global pandemic, and we agreed that the curse was impacting globally, but all the information that we had pointed to this island. And he said he wanted to see some of the information that was telling us that it was originating here. So I thought that if we took if I went back with Syndra, she could explain what was leading, what evidence was leading to this particular island beyond, so that we could get more detailed as to what led them to assume that this island was the source of the curse. That's basically kind of sums up what I got from the thing. But again, once as long as Siren is willing to go, I believe that she and I need to go back and discuss with him where this curse is actually originating to get more of a detailed idea where things are at, rather than just taking a guess at these Red Wizards of Thay, because they are bad news. If we go up against them and they're not the source of this curse, then we have struck a hornet's nest for no good reason. I've encountered the Red Wizards of Thay before, and trust me when I tell you, they are not to be messed with unless you absolutely have to. So I would rather have all the information that we can possibly have before we just randomly go strike that hornet's nest down.
Telepathically, I would say that makes a lot of sense. Where do we start? Where do we go from here, from where we are now?
Here's what I would recommend. I recommend that all of us take what we have and and Syndra back to the temple. We speak with the priest there. We get the information from the knower of things. And then, because we basically have done everything we can here, we get out of Dodge. Because we have stirred up a hornet's nest here. Nothing good can come with sticking around. Yes, we have a lot of money tied up in that race gambling scheme that you guys came up with, but I say we cut our losses and run to wherever the information points us. If it's to the Red Wizards of Thay, great. If it's some different direction, then we move. But we do not need to stay in this town any longer than we have to. I'm going to be the bad guy here. You guys have kicked this hornet's nest to the point where we are not welcome here, and we need to get out of town.
telepathically, I say, "Yeah, I can't believe what happened in the race. That was unbelievable. Who knows what inextricable forces compelled those creatures to go in opposite directions? That was insanity. We should escape before more of this chaos insidiates itself amongst us."
And you're doing all of this in the tiny hut right now?
Telepathically.
I didn't know, did we actually do it in the tiny hut, or did we just go someplace where we could be somewhat secluded and set the telepathic so that we could talk in our brains?
We went to the place where the tiny hut was.
Where it was
originally.
before, but no tiny hut was cast in the last 12 hours. It was, or in the last whatever half day. This was, we went to a secluded place so that Bramnir could, ritually cast
I've just done the
telepathy.
telepathy, yeah. Should we, I wouldn't mind looking at least at the magic shop, but we should definitely leave soon. I will not go into a church.
Where
They sound sketchy.
did Flask of Wine go? Sounds like it's an incorrect sentence, but it is correct for anyone who's watching.
I don't know. We got a lot of alcoholics here. Somebody might have finished it off. Flask of wine.
Guaranteed we did not. I'm still waiting.
Flask of wine seems to have slipped off in the chaos.
Radmir, I understand your concern. I vow that you will be safe in this church. I will guard you myself if anything goes awry in that building.
Well, I mean, I'm equally split between myself being in danger and them being in danger. Not even just me as a threat. Have you not seen what Cicero did not recently?
Nobody
all those
saw
dead bodies. And
what did Cicero do?
Yeah,
I didn't see anything.
Oh, do you not know what Cicero? Well,
what are you talking about, Radmir?
Very suspiciously.
Bramir.
I don't know.
What
I can't say for
statements are
certain.
you?
I wasn't there. I certainly can't say for certain, but I happened to lose concentration on your visibility just as the bodies started piling up. So
Yeah, it's a strange coincidence, isn't it?
very strange coincidence indeed. And
I thought you tried to save them by casting.
creatures
I thought
certainly
you weren't
looked
a religious
compelled to do something, but I don't know what could have compelled them. Not like a bard known speciality of any
Sounds
sort.
like you
Crazy.
perhaps had a lapse in cognition.
What a crazy series of coincidences. just happened to be
Crazy
there.
series of coincidences.
And you've been desperate to disguise yourself ever since. I don't know why. You're
Well,
purely innocent, clearly.
I have to go to
Like, you won't mind if I go introduce you around the town in your natural form and say, has anyone seen this person before? You know, no
I
one would
cast
recognize
Mage
you,
Hand, so invisibility drops, and I look like Bramnir's twin.
Ah, yes, the disguise of the innocent person.
Yes. Go about. Tell about me. Tell about me. Tell about the pale elven woman that you saw as a facade in the street, who undoubtedly was trampled by two monstrous creatures. You honestly believe that the townspeople
I'm not
or
here
whoever
to turn you in. I don't know why you think I'm an antagonist. If anything, I'm proud. And in fact, here's the
Oh.
staff you've earned for your
Oh,
heroic work.
I was defensive.
I forgot to give it to you.
I'm sorry for that.
Murder as many people as you wish. At some point, I'll need a few souls.
I clear my throat
I will
in my
give
head.
you money.
I telepathically clear my throat, which is unnecessary. And I look at Bramnir and I go, "You were proud of me?"
To kill people so cavalierly, even I still am reluctant. I'm an abomination.
Unreluctant abomination.
I could learn so much from just all the blood and the way you just
Well, I charge 2 gold per
deal with
day.
it.
You could be my intern, should you so like.
I would love it.
Excellent. Excellent.
Anyway,
Yes.
more pressingly, I will go to the church if you insist. Fine. But if anyone dies, then you know I gave fair warning.
I clear my throat again telepathically, so it's quite a nuisance, and I say, "I require payment up front, Bramir."
Do you want me to kill too? I'll cast Fireball on those orphans over there.
Let's not do any more killing today. Unless
I was
it's
just asking for my 2 gold up front for the training of the internship that he's now partaking in.
2 gold.
Yes.
You're underselling. Here you go. Take some Troll's Folly as well. I have no use for it.
Oh, God. I could go for a drink right now. Today has been a trip. I can't tell you why, but it has been a trip.
Oh, I don't think I'm
I
going to
heard-
save anybody anymore because the reward is being attacked. I think I'm
Well-
going to join the murder hobos.
Well, this is 2 gold.
I'm pretty sure saving people was not why you were attacked. Considering I was there and saw the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wish we'd just stolen that chest.
Really? Oh my. Well, alright, so shall we go back to the temple and find out what the knower of things wishes to tell us, and then we can make
Peace
like
out,
a
yeah.
tree and get out of here?
Well, if we pass the magic shop, I want to dip in.
Oh, absolutely. Sure. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
As you pass by a shop that seems to have magical wares, what are you looking for?
Anything cool? Like staves?
Anything cool?
Exploding balls? I don't know. Rings of
Belts of
untold
giant
inflammable
strength.
power. That, yes. Finally, him to shut up.
Belts of giants. Do they make those?
Get swole.
Maybe an elixir of forgetfulness so she can forget the bodies. The blood.
And my
Horrible blood.
Isn't that called Troll's Folly?
Even
I
that's
indulge
only
in
so
that.
strong. Cloak of invisibility.
You go into the one shop, and the merchant there, a woman with her hair all pinned up in beads tied in through them and little ribbons of color, looks at you and gives a slight nod and says, "Welcome. What might I be able to help you find today?"
Oh, welcome. Hello, even. We're going to be going deep into the jungle, down the river, most likely. Do you have any magic items to help with, I don't know, wild animals, the heat, water travel, traveling stealthily, protection from the various environmental threats? Perhaps a magic map of any sort? Any of these things?
Bugs.
What she said?
"I have a most exceptional balm that will help," she says as she produces a vial and holds it towards you. "It will help you with the elements and as you travel. It should shield you well against many critters."
Yes. Anything else like this? And how much for it? If you don't mind me asking. And how many uses? Is it a one-use thing? How long does it last for?
"It will help shield you for 8 hours, and it is 1 silver."
Oh, really? How many do you have?
"I have dozens and dozens of them."
Flynn, any interest? I don't even know if it'll work for me, but or anyone else?
You have a gold.
Buy a few. Yeah.
What does it do?
Insect repellent.
Oh.
Definitely buying that for a gold. I'll buy 10 of them.
Yeah, 10 of those for a
I'll buy
gold.
10.
I'll buy 10.
Sure.
This merchant also has healer's kits, perfumes, and other things of that nature, and a few vials that appear to be potions as well.
Ooh, what potions do you happen to have?
I have some excellent ones here. I have this one, she says as she holds it up. It is a yellowish liquid, and there's something floating inside of it, and she kind of shakes it up, and an eyeball bobs into view.
Gross.
I have, let's see, what else? Ah, yes, also, a potion of poison, most potent. And I have this one as well. She sets it on the table, and it has a bluish gray liquid, and you see sparks and like crackles of energy ripping through it as if she'd bottled a storm cloud.
I'll take it.
What did the third one do? The second one's poison, but
This is a potion of resistance, she says as she holds it up.
oh,
And the other, she says as she points towards the one with the eyeball, is a potion of clairvoyance. It will help you see far away.
I'll take both. What are you asking for them? I say hastily.
You wish for both? I can give you 325 gold for the two.
Make it 299 gold, so my maths are easier.
Very well, if you insist.
Can I have the healer's kit for 4 gold?
Yeah, you can.
You said potion of clairvoyance and then potion of lightning
Lightning.
resistance?
oh, yes.
I take both of them and stick them in my pocket. Their pack.
Any powerful items or objects? Flying carpet, magic broom.
I'm
Oh,
afraid no such things.
Well, thank you for that. That's enough for me. Anyone else want anything, or should we just go straight to this temple?
If we're leaving, while we make our way to the temple, Brimnir, can you identify this shield I bought?
I don't know if I can do it on the move. Maybe for carrying me, I don't know.
No, you could do it on the move. It just for casting times of longer than one action, you spend your action every turn continuing it, and you're concentrating while casting, but you can walk and stuff.
Sure, fine. Yes. Don't know if we'll be done by the time we're there. But
As you're headed towards the Temple of Savras, you learn that this is a +1 shield.
Ooh.
there you go, +1 shield.
Anyone want it?
Could you do the same with these axes that I bought?
Sure.
You run out of time before you get to the Temple of Savras.
No. Skip it about boo boo. I want to know what that staff does. Don't forget to attune to that.
Should be scatting faster.
Mumble that for
All right.
As you make your way back towards the Temple of Savras, Gilgamesh, and push the door open, you can see that it seems as though all of the bystanders have trickled off and left one or another, save one that is in the front speaking with the grandfather Zatembe. As you're approaching, you can see a heated discussion taking place as this cloaked figure jabs a finger into Zatembe's chest.
I'm gonna walk up and put just a gentle hand on the person who just
I mean, that's a long way to walk. It's 100 feet.
Okay.
That's like.
All right.
I would love to be in that space, in that
most
scene.
awkward thing of just like walking for 30 seconds and then reaching out and putting a hand on him.
All right. So
A cat would do it.
But I will walk purposefully up there.
When you make it about halfway, the hooded figure pauses and looks over at you and says, "Do you mind? This is a private matter."
We don't.
This is the public church.
I do apologize for interrupting, but we have business with the grandfather.
I love how, barring Gilgamesh, all of you are like so snarky at anyone who's like vaguely rude at you.
It's like he's not dead.
Grandfather, is everything all right?
I believe so. This representative of the Zentarum is having some words with me, is all.
At the word Zentarum, Sithral's ears perk, though that's nearly imperceptible. And they look at the individual that this father has been speaking with. Excuse me for my cough.
The figure is hooded, but more pale in complexion than many of the locals here, and is wearing a symbol on his chest, like a patch in the shoulder of like a dagger and a snake that you recognize to be the symbol of the Zentarum.
Can I approach? Or I attempt to approach?
The figure kind of turns annoyedly and looks at you and says, "This is no concern of yours. Leave out any of our doings in business. Leave the Zentarum be."
Humbly, I just wanted to introduce. The name is Sithral Ralladly, and should you need any kind of song or revelry, I can provide. Just let me know. You know where to find me here in Jolt for the next unforeseeable future. And your name, may I ask, and I shall leave you alone entirely.
You're asking the Zentarum agent his name?
Yes.
The Zentarum agent's name is Tath. Tath.
Toth. Toth of Jolt, it is an honor to meet you. I shan't interrupt what you are doing any longer, however, just know I am but a call away at the Thundering Lizard, should you need a revelry in your name or the Zentarum's. I would very much like to know a bit more about your history. But apologies, I am interrupting. How rude of me! And I like back off from the conversation and take a pew.
The Toth seems rather agitated right now as he looks around and he says, "I guess we are going to have to speak about this business later, Father."
From an insight perspective, do I recognize him calling him father based on a religious aspect or based on a familial aspect?
Given complexions, if nothing else, you would suspect it is a religious position. There's
Oh,
no
understood.
clear resemblance between them.
That's well put, Corn. Wow. How does the church smell?
Rich in incense.
Okay. By the way, I usually ask that out of a sick, like cathartic reason, because smell is not something that so easily comes into play. Like people don't consider it, and so part of my whatever.
There is a strong, sweet headiness to this particular incense, and it is been burning perpetually. The aroma is thick here. Yeah,
Dank as fuck. Sounds like it's dank as fuck.
it's sweet, but yes.
I'm joking. But I do ask just because that's an element that doesn't always come into play for folks. It's like, what does this dank ass dungeon smell like? I don't get that.
The Zentarum agent turns annoyed and pushes past Bremnir as he's walking away.
Did you touch me?
Yes.
Do you actually physically touch me?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, 1 moment.
What does that mean?
Um,
Brandy, I'm in suspense here.
What?
What?
Why?
Because he specifically
Me.
asked if he touched him.
He touched me, and I don't like it.
What? In the church? Really?
Yeah.
That's a little
where
Can relate. Doesn't want to be touched
where
by
are you
priest.
dropping this fireball?
Just here.
No, you didn't. No, you.
The bad guys.
No. Dude, we're in the last 3 minutes of the session, and you're dropping a fireball now?
He touched me.
That's the
wait.
trigger?
We
Yeah,
can spin.
so
We
this-
can
this-
spin this. This looks like the culprit that rigged the races.
Do what you
He
wish.
get us
We're
all of
leaving
them.
today.
And with the fireball erupting in the middle of the Temple of Savras, as pews get knocked back and ignited, that is where we're going to end for tonight. Because
I'm just starting, dog.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
the
Apparently.
baddie. I'm not the baddie. Again, I did nothing. I started a verbal argument.
I like you taking this as a challenge, not to be the bad one.
Dude, you really waited all session to
I'm
cast a
doing-
fireball.
All I'm doing is just existing, man.
All I'm
you other
saying-
people are being murder hobos.
I promised that I made no promises that anyone would be protected in the church.
Gilgamesh is seriously
Oh.
just looking at you going,
Sometimes you get vibes.
Well,
Vibes.
do this earlier next time, because it'll be more fun.
That makes a nice.
No, this is going to have great anticipation and build up over the week.
oh my word.
Oh,
Sometimes you gotta blow off some steam.
What's gonna
Oh,
happen? Like, there's dinosaurs running over and impaling people outside, and then
I could have burnt the crowd, admittedly, yes.
nobody said that. You said that. That's
Bunch of murder hobos.
Well,
Oh, goddamn murder hobo-y.
I got vibes. Held off against the guards.
honestly,
You
I
got
went into that
vibes.
whole fucking thing. I was gonna send Cithro like, baseball skirting, sliding underneath of the dinosaur, doing a compulsion, run the opposite way. I was gonna say like turn around, or I was gonna compulse them to stop. Turns out the language of the spell says that you have to either go, you have to go horizontally. So I sent them into the wall of people. That was the scene set by our DM, which was great.
but some could say you could have sent drop concentration after the first one went through. Sending them back, I think, is what made you the hobo.
Impossible. Just kidding. Yes, that was very much so possible, but I was leaning into it. I was, I was
Oh, I had lots of
thinking
fun.
this thing needs to finish.
Fantastic.
The race needs to finish, and we were joined by Rolling Warlock and so many others. Like we had at least 10 folks joining in this whole time, so I'm super glad to hang out with some people who
Cool.
really like D&D.
Awesome.
Yeah. Looking
Thanks for
forward
joining.
to building up more followers next week and seeing the chaos unfold. But with that, I'm going to have to duck out.
All right, good session, guys. See you all next week.
session.
We're playing.
Yeah. So far as I know, if
Well,
you're all
next
not
I'll be there.
dead,
I'm in.
Oh my.
I got a
So
wedding.
Brock is going to be gone, but we have 4 out of 5. We're in.
Yep, we're good. I'm good for next week.
Yeah, I'm
I
in.
We'll
trust-
look forward to it.
I trust Flynn running my character.
Yeah, because I
Oh.
killed the least amount of people.
I haven't killed him.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's barely injured after you hit him with a fireball. Later, Corn.
See you, Corin.
This is the right choice. He's clearly a BBEG.
Oh my
Good
god.
night, Darryl.